This man walked into a bar. He saw a drunk sitting in the corner all by himself. And he had this gloop in his hand, and he was running it through his fingers, and he was examining it and staring at it in awe, just trying to understand it. And he kept muttering to himself, "It looks like plastic, but it feels like rubber." So the man walks a little bit closer to the drunk, and he kind of peers over his shoulder and looks at this gloop in his hands. The drunk says, "It's so strange, isn't it?" He says, "It looks like plastic, but it feels like rubber," just moving it through his fingers. And the man says, "Well, that is strange. And I'm a pharmacist. I don't know if I could figure it out, but maybe I could take a look and get a better understanding." And the guy says, "Sure." So he hands the gloop over to the pharmacist, and he starts running it through his fingers, holding it up to the light, really examining it. He's like, "You're right. This really is strange. It really does look like plastic and feel like rubber. Do you mind if I ask, where'd you find this?" And the drunk says, "Well, yeah, sure. It just came out of my nose." My name's KJ, and welcome back, because we missed a show last week. I'm really sorry I had to miss the show, man. I was actually house and pet sitting, and I did it a little longer than I'd thought. So, and it would get too loud there at night to do something like this. So I had to wait, but I did drop a new video. Hopefully you guys saw it. Came up about a week ago. I've got a brand new one that I'm really excited about. In fact, the new one, there's a lot of stories I'm not showing you tonight in the show. Don't worry, there's plenty. We got 2 weeks worth of stuff, but there's a lot of things I'm not going to show you because they're already in my new video, and it'll be another really big video. And these are huge signs of the times. Huge. This past week, a few very significant things happened. So I'm putting it together, and it'll be up this week. It'll be up in a few days or so. So thank you, as always, for your patience. But again, I hope you saw the last one, because that narrative is really being pushed right now, the whole UFO agenda. And like I said, there's a lot of very interesting things coming out about that. And you'll see it in the new video. You'll see some of it tonight. Speaking of things I can't show you or just won't, at least tonight, there's probably about 25, 30 stories over the last few weeks that I'm not even showing tonight, because it all has to do with bad effects of the poison that's being pushed upon the population. I'm probably just going to have to do another video in the next week or so, like a compilation with all that stuff, the taboo topics, the forbidden topics, and I'll put it up on all my other sites. But, check all my links below, please. I think I just got off suspension on my main channel on the scariest movie ever. My plan is to not even upload there, though, for a while, hopefully till one of the strikes goes away next month. And just leave it alone, honestly, because even last time, right after I posted a new video after the first suspension, within a couple days, I got a second. So I don't know if the algorithm is set to do that. I don't know what the deal is, but, I'd rather just back off from the main channel for a little while, let it sit, hopefully safely, and I'll continue putting work up on Rumble, BitChute. You can always go to my website. That link's below. Odyssey. I also transferred all of my scariest movie ever YouTube channel content, all the videos and shows, over to a brand new Odyssey account, and they're all there. It's awesome, and it's blockchain. I know there's issues with blockchain, but one good thing about blockchain is if my YouTube channel goes away, the main one, those videos and shows will still remain. So at least I have a good backup for those things somewhere. So again, please check the links below. And that's it, man. We have got a lot to get into. Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for being here. Thanks to the moderators. Always a huge shout out to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. Thank you guys so much. And, quite often we'll have people. Here's the thing, too, if you're listening and this is uploaded and you weren't here in the live chat. If you've never been here for a live show during a live show with the live chat, you're really missing out. It's a different experience. These are wonderful people. It's a super cool community. And I really think you'd like it. So if you ever get a chance to listen live, please do. It's a totally different thing. We have a lot of friends here from overseas that are staying up very late or getting up very early to watch. Thank you to you guys as well. All right, let's get into it. Seriously, folks, we've got a lot to get into. It's all good, though. I love it. I've been missing you guys. I missed doing the show. So kick back, relax, spend Friday evening with us, and let's have a good time. And let's see what the beast system is up to. Nickelodeon releases video of creepy drag queen pushing the Black Power fist and trans flag to children. What could go wrong? Let's go ahead and check this out. This is, whoa, that's really loud. This is for children. Remember, this is on the Nickelodeon for kids.
Here we go. Red light, orange healing, yellow is sunlight, green nature blue, purple is spirit, baby blue, pink, white represent transgender people, and black and brown represent the queer and trans people of color.
Having love for your gay friends and gay family members is completely different than bending a knee to this kind of stuff. This is where this is a part of the beast system. We know this. It's all about the Baphomet. It's all about the trans. Satan himself's a trans. You got Barack Obama. You got Michael. That's still a tough pill for some people to swallow. But it just goes to show you how incredibly crazy, things really are. But once you get over the shock factor, once you open your mind, once you really start seeking truth, caring about truth, I think most people don't even care about the truth. But I understand it. I'm not crying about that. I mean, people have lives to live. I get it. And there's so much mind control people are pummeled with constantly. We know the symbols. We follow those as well. Corporate logos, movies, TV shows. We see the agendas there as well. People are pummeled with this stuff, man. And a lot of people, I would dare say the majority, are more focused on their family, their children, their husbands, their wives, their careers. They want to, just be left alone and just do their thing. And that's good. That's fine. But we're at a different time now. We have been for a while. It's getting very serious now. People really have to kind of snap out of it and wake up. We're literally letting this system place a poison inside of us. That's where it crossed the line. So it's getting serious. It's getting real serious. We know this. But this right here is just a part of that agenda. This is a Blue's Clues, the same thing. This is a Blue's Clues. My nephew and niece used to love Blue's Clues. Boy, has it changed. This is what we have now.
Hooray! Marching in the big hooray! Families marching 6 by 6, hurrah, hurrah! Families marching 6 by 6, hurrah, hurrah! Ape, by and pan, grown-ups you see, can love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade. Oh yeah! Families marching 7 by 7, hurrah, hurrah! Families marching 7 by 7, hurrah, hurrah!
Nice pentagram on that hat, kitty.
Differently, they love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in.
Pointing down, right?
Hooray! Families marching 8 by 8, hurrah, hurrah! Marching in.
Here you go. Blue's Clues. Boy, has it changed. But it all has. We understand this. This is a part of the beast system. The Antichrist spirit is certainly alive and well. He hasn't been revealed yet. We're at that time. If you're new here, you probably think I'm bonkers. That's all right. Hopefully you'll stick around for the whole thing and educate yourself, not just through me, but other people as well, on what time it is and what's going on. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm not trying to be a bummer. I'm not trying to harsh your buzz. I'm just telling it like it is. There's a reason the planet's locked down. And there's a reason that people are hiding their faces. Can't see your smiles. Now that's changing though. But that's changing too. It's something I've seen over the last few weeks. People are standing up. A lot of states are letting things loose, letting things go, dropping the mask mandate. My state's one of them. It's been beautiful. I love it. However, I still see people out there, even riding their bikes, wearing a freaking mask. for something that has. Okay, let's not get into that. Let's not do that yet. This early. This is the first story. Let's just get moving. I'm already rambling. Well, it's been a while. I haven't seen you guys in a while. This is fun. From a Daily Wire YouTube channel, asking VED people why they're still wearing a mask outside.
I'm not sure why. Good news for you. You don't have to wear a mask anywhere outside. Okay. There you go. All right. How do you feel? It's the same. I'm Ami Horowitz, and some people are still wearing their masks outside who are fully vaccinated, even though the science says they don't have to. Let's find out why. Why are you wearing a mask outside?
It feels weird not to. I just like it. I got used to it. I don't mind wearing it. I guess I'm just used to it, I guess.
I just have it on. I forgot it was on. You forgot it was on? Are you vaccinated? Why are you wearing a mask outside? What's your thought process? No comment.
I just feel like I have to wear it. I don't know why. I just want to wear it. Yeah, I guess like my friends wear them so much. If I might as well just too.
I feel like I won't take off my mask until everybody does.
Oh yeah.
We haven't been very
Role modeling, right?
I mean, it's just there's a lot of anxieties with taking the mask off, for the first time. So it's
because
probably
it's been so long.
yeah, it's like a social anxiety at this point. It's just mental well-being and stuff.
So it's virtually impossible to get coronavirus outside while you're vaccinated.
Okay.
Does that change your thought process at all?
Yeah, not really. I'm just gonna keep wearing it. I personally still wouldn't want to take the risk anyway. I don't trust anyone else, so I'm just doing it for my own
Even if the
health.
science said it was like basically impossible, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Extra precaution.
Because I want to protect others, and there's still risk no matter what. So.
So the science says it's virtually impossible to get the coronavirus if you're vaccinated or spread it while you're outside. Sure. Does that change your thought at all?
I know that, but it also sets an example, a visual example. That's how I feel sometimes. I just want to put it on.
Because you almost feel like that, like almost a compulsion to do it because we've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the right thing to say. It's like a pacifier.
It's very interesting.
It has its pacifier.
Sure.
You want to take it away, the surprise, don't take it away.
I like virtue signaling.
Yeah. It's also a little bit of a protest.
The protest being like,
Well, I shouldn't be given the privilege to not wear a mask.
Not only have I been double vaccinated, I had COVID.
so you're triple.
I'm triple.
So why? So why do you think you're doing it?
I think
It's virtually impossible to get coronavirus outside while you're vaccinated.
yeah. I think it's because I have been so infuriated at people who didn't wear a mask when the whole year. So it's like a display of I still feel.
Like my roommate this year was gonna be from Singapore before everything changed, and I would just see videos on his Instagram of like going out clubbing and stuff. Just was safe over there, and it was kind of like, oh man, like if we had actually handled this well, be able to like do stuff, but I'm just stuck inside.
If we handle it better, we could be doing X than everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's take them out. Come on, take them out. Come on.
Oh my
Do
God.
this to come with peer pressure. Jeez.
Here we go. And look at that. That's the next story. U.S. has been tracking UFOs for 70 years. They put stuff on Fox News all the time, probably because of its conservative Christian audience, most likely. Because that seems to be where a lot of the soft disclosure on UFOs are coming out. It's that channel primarily. It's been Fox News. And mostly Tucker Carlson has been covering that a lot. Moving on. Okay, I don't know what to make of this one. It's just weird. I don't know if this person made it. It's got 52 thumbs up, no thumbs down. Hard to say. You decide. It's on Secret Space Tube YouTube channel. Strange Sounds and Lights in Russia, May 27th, 2021. Let's check this out. sure, though. And we are living in a time where everyone's got a little camera in their hands. Most people do. So we do capture a lot of interesting things sometimes. But we also live in a time of deep fakes and CGI and all kinds of incredible technology. So things can be faked and created. So I don't know. Sometimes I feel real positive about the footage I'm showing. Sometimes I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what this is. But it's pretty crazy. Figured I'd share. But wait, there's more. Rabbi offers religious poison exemptions for all faiths to avoid the, you know what? A prominent Chabad rabbi is offering to give religious exemption waivers to help anyone of faith avoiding having to take the, quote, yellow star of the, you know what? Rabbi Michael Green appeared on Big League Politics Live where he talked about the oppression he has endured for opposing the lockdowns and mandatory, you know what? He's galvanizing patriots in his Hasidic community as well as the rest of America to resist these things. Also, if you're new here, you may not know, YouTube's freaking crazy now. It's like a dystopian horror film in a lot of ways. But they have AI and algorithms and and people they hire that watch your shows, listen to things, watching for trigger words. Again, you might be new, you may think this is crazy, but it's not. So a lot of times I have to kind of bounce around certain words, trigger words, if you will, and that's what we're doing here. So there you go. All right, I'm going to move on. Small hatty hat. This says I walked into the DMV yesterday, Central Florida. Masks were sitting together and the unmasks were sitting together. No signs. It's conditioning at its finest. So here you can see V only and then un, outdoors or to go only. So there you go. We know where that division leads. The separation's taking place now. More and more. Britney Spears jokes she has become the mother effing snake she held at the 2001 VMAs performance as she rocks a skin-tight reptile print jumpsuit. She is. This poor thing. When you look in her eyes, that's what it is. You look in the eyes. It's just, you don't see life there. That's what I always think when I see, there for a while, and I've shown some here on the show over the years. We've seen some weird TikToks she's put out and Instagrams and things, but it's just, it's in her eyes, man. And we know that this is what they call this is a prime example of an Illuminati mind control slave. You may think that's crazy. Look it up. Fritz Springmeier. Look that name up as well. Some of his books and research. The MK Ultra mind control slave. Beta. Sex kittens. Remember her breakdown? And the media made a joke of it. And she's shaved her hair off. And some of the things she was saying, they like blonde hair. As she's shaving her hair off, they want me with blonde hair. They like blonde hair. It's part of the goddess rituals. And she, there's a lot of pictures of her and videos of her wearing the little red bracelet, the Kabbalah bracelet, which a lot of the people in Hollywood wear. A lot of the people in Hollywood are into. That's just one aspect of the many secret societies that run that whole system. Reptiles. The reptiles. Right? Just look in the eyes. They're lifeless to me. Still lifeless. It's sad. She's had a lot of hard times. I guess her father has a conservatorship or something like this. I don't know. This is from Dabu77 YouTube channel. Energy Secretary warns of enemy's capability to shut down U.S. power grid. Get ready for lights out. I did want to share that. I guess I could have found some. There's mainstream stories if you want to look these up on what the Energy Secretary was saying about the enemy. Who's the enemy? It's always Russia, 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 right? But the enemy's capability to shut down U.S. power grid. This also connects to Dark Winter. Also connects to Cyber Polygon, which World Economic Forum. We'll get more into some of that here in a little while. But we've already seen some of these so-called hacker attacks, right? And I think I've got some stories on those tonight as well. Going after the meat industry, going after the pipeline. When does it end? Who's really doing it? Well, I always think this stuff is black ops. Everything's moving towards, we're in the beast system. I truly believe we're right on the verge of the Antichrist being revealed or coming on the main scene. Most of us who have critical thinking skills realize that Bo Biden did not win the presidency. They say he's the most popular president in American history. And the kid gets 1,500 views on a live broadcast from the White House channel on YouTube. I'm just saying. Our critical thinking. Very important now. Mother of student sneaks into school posing as her daughter, stays for half the day to prove security sucks, gets arrested. Now, this is pretty crazy. How many of you parents out there would try to pull something like this off? Let's see here.
Day at school. Middle school? Sorry for the quality of this video. But a 30-year-old disguising as a 13-year-old made up her lunch. I've been here all day. Face to face with teachers. My eyebrows are really stupid too. I've made it more than half a day. No, half a day. Well, more because I only have 4 classes left. This is considered 5th. Right? Yeah. This is disgusting.
All right, audio was kind of lame on that. Sorry, some of the clips have bad audio, but hopefully you made some of that out. This is nuts. Distracted driver annihilates swimming pool. Can you imagine? What if somebody was in this pool? This is crazy. Watch this. That's some scary stuff right there. This one here. Okay. Can I play this one? Yeah. These are the ones I have to be careful of. I've been doing pretty good. We used to do this show on my main channel, but I got too many hits on there. Strikes for medical misinformation from showing too many clips and them using these words too often. That's really what caused it. So, but this is on BitChute. You can check out UK Nun. That poison, it kills people, she says. And it's only about 1.5 minutes long, but it's a good one. Oh, all right. What do I want to see here? That's it. Okay. This is on 3.0 YouTube channel. Strange and rare things happened in all these places. And here's something I thought was pretty weird. I don't know, probably a fake. Bummer, right? I don't know. I just got a feeling about it. I'm not sure. Yeah, because this right here. Okay, that's why I wasn't sure if I wanted to show this or not. I remember when this clip came out about a year and a half ago, this one, and I'm pretty sure people were faking that, right? Like some kind of huge monster off in the distance. So my bad. Okay. We live and we learn. This past week, there's been like 3 or 4 sinkholes around the world. I'll show some more tonight. Here's one. This is in Jerusalem. Swallowed a car. Can you imagine being in a car and that happening? That's pretty much that. Okay, there's subtitles on this. It says it's in India. Can't open your shops or use any public places until you've taken the poison, it says. Let's see here.
सभी आम लोगों से भी अपील है कि जिन लोगों की उम्र 45 वर्ष है और उन लोगों ने वैक्सीनेशन नहीं कराया है, ऐसे लोगों को उनके व्यापारिक प्रतिष्ठान पर नहीं बैठने दिया जाएगा। ऐसे आम लोग जिन्होंने 45 वर्ष उम्र है उससे ऊपर है, वैक्सीनेशन नहीं कराया, उनके घर से निकलने की अनुमति नहीं होगी। लॉकडाउन जैसे ही खत्म होगा आपको इन नियमों का पालन करना होगा। दुकानें केवल उन्हीं की खुलेंगी जिनकी उम्र 45 वर्ष और उससे ऊपर है और उन्होंने वैक्सीनेशन कराया है। यदि उस उम्र के व्यापारी हैं जो अपने व्यापारिक प्रतिष्ठान पर बैठते हैं और उन्होंने वैक्सीनेशन नहीं कराया है तो उसको उस व्यापारिक प्रतिष्ठान पर नहीं बैठने दिया जाएगा। ई रिक्शा वाले, ऑटो, बस ड्राइवर आदि या सार्वजनिक स्थानों पर जिन लोगों की उम्र 45 साल है उन्होंने वैक्सीनेशन नहीं कराया है।
Not sure. Subtitles? Maybe. It was on BitChute. Dr. Fartsy and Bill Jiden arrive at Harlem Vax Center in New York City, met with protests and boos. Most popular president's wife in American history. There you go. You get some people standing up. It's good. It's a good thing. The camel humiliated during her first trip abroad to Guatemala and Mexico. She was greeted with "Go home" and "Orange Man won" signs that were ignored by the mainstream media. Wow, there it is. Yeah, you definitely didn't see this on CNN, all right, or MSNBC or ABC or any of them, really. Maybe some Fox News, maybe, I don't know. Maybe. There you go. Ketchum considering tent city for workers amid crushing inequality, scarce affordable housing. Oh boy, it's another one of those This is Idaho, in a town where some of the wealthiest people in the country keep lavish homes, glittering and vast against a backdrop of sweeping mountains. Officials are mulling over a plan to allow Ketchum's nurses, teachers, and service workers to sleep in tents in the city park as rent and housing costs continue to soar out of their grasp. These are signs of a civilization collapsing.
People who work in a town can no longer afford to live there or even nearby. Good evening. We begin with that question, which is what the Ketchum City Council grappled with tonight. Officials and residents say the affordable housing situation in Blaine County has reached crisis levels, to the point where a tent community is being proposed as one solution. Our Katie Terhune went to Ketchum to learn how city leaders are planning to address the issue.
The council opted to table a controversial bid to allow local workers to sleep in tents in Rotary Park, but they say they'll move forward with other suggestions as they work to loosen the stranglehold high housing prices have on this town.
It's so uncertain, but the thought of having to leave, it just doesn't feel like an option. But then I don't have options right now.
Kate Riley's rental home is being sold, and she can't find anything else. She's not sure what will become of her. She's not sure what will become of the 95-year-old she looks after in her job as a caregiver.
The thought of having to say goodbye, at this stage in her life, it's tearing me apart.
Riley's grief and uncertainty is playing out all over town as longtime residents and seasonal workers alike come to grips with the idea that there may not be a place for them here anymore. Some have thrown in the towel and are moving away. Others are living in campers and tents in the National Forest up Trail Creek Road. Still more are commuting to Blaine County from farther and farther away. Reed Stillman, a native of Ketchum who is now running for mayor, is also facing down the threat of homelessness. He says the current emergency has been years in the making.
It's just not affordable for anyone in this town. As someone who grew up here, if you know anything about this town, most of us have 3-4 jobs just to afford to live here. But we do that because we love living here. But at this point, no matter how much we love living here, no matter how many jobs we have, no matter how much money we make, there's still nowhere to live.
Ketchum Mayor Neil Bradshaw said the increase of short-term rentals like Airbnbs have contributed to the problem, pushing out long-term renters. So too has the COVID-19 pandemic.
This has been ongoing for 25, 30 years, but the COVID situation has amplified the situation, has amplified the issue, has brought more people into town. It has created a housing crisis.
The council ultimately decided not to move ahead with the proposal to allow camping in the city park. However, allowing tent camping or RV parking on other property around the area may still bear fruit. Other short-term fixes discussed include using federal funding to try and offer rent assistance, as well as partnering senior homeowners who need help with local workers who need a place to stay. These options are seen as a stopgap measure until longer-term affordable housing solutions can be built. Some of Ketchum's wealthier residents have previously attempted to block workplace housing developments, citing the aesthetics of the planned buildings. But Stillman says if nothing changes, businesses will shut down and the Ketchum of today will be gone.
Who's going to pour their coffee in the morning? Who's going to serve them food? Who's going to run their chairlifts? We're not against you. We're not against the wealthy. We need you. But we also need you to understand that maybe sometimes you take for granted the people who are working here, who are, giving you these services.
In Ketchum, Katie Terhune, Idaho's News Channel 7.
Really, as part
All right,
we're going
move
to
on.
continue to track the situation.
You go.
Folks, you just do not. Yeah, there it is.
Boris Johnson married to a sex cult Satanist. This is really wild stuff here. I didn't know this. Boris Johnson. It's 12 minutes. Some banned video that we'll play a little bit of this. But it's interesting because you always find these connections. That's the deal with a lot of the power players in the world, celebrities, politicians, leaders of industry, tech giants. You'll find these connections back to witchcraft, Luciferianism, Satanism.
Beach blonde, X-rated. There they are. So you don't get in the club. That's her in college doing a satanic ritual. You don't get in the club unless you're part of it. So it's not like, ooh, I'm cool. I got invited to, like most people would kill to be in the real Hellfire Club. Like, oh, great. I'll go to the same place Benjamin Franklin banged chicks and I'll have sex there. I'll be really cool. Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you. I mean, I got sucked into that stuff without trying repeatedly. Because so I've been like a little subdivisions, that was pretty wild. But no, that's like, and of course, Helmut Schmidt, who was German Chancellor back when it was still East and West Germany, West German Chancellor. He wrote a book, Men in Power, a political retrospective. And what a weird name, too. Watch out. When you search into that name, like gay porn comes up for whatever reason. But the book's pre-internet, so it didn't get a wide circulation. But he says, I got a copy of it somewhere around the office. It's like 4 inches thick. Tex Mars gave me a copy of it. He admits the satanic rituals in Germany. And he says, but our favorite place to do them is the Bohemian Grove, which I did infiltrate. So it's weird, man. It's weird. And that's all I'm trying to tell people. It's not like I'm just up here guessing all this stuff. It's not like I'm just up here like, oh, I think this is how it works. I think this is what's going on. All of you have had experiences in your life that God allowed you to have so that you would be part of a larger destiny. And so I'm not saying my life's been particularly cool compared to other people's, but it's been insane.
Okay, there's a little bit of that. You can watch the whole thing if you want. We're here on BitChute, banned video. Boris Johnson married a sex cult Satanist. I think the story was from Daily Mail. More fake moon landing video. You decide. Let's check this out. How long is this? It's 2 minutes. Look at this. I don't think there's any audio on this. We'll just kind of watch, but you decide. What do you think? Looks like a set to me. Jump ahead a little. You used to be able to find these kinds of videos on YT many, many moons ago. Man, obviously, we know how much the site's changed, but wowzers. It used to be able to find some amazing footage. VidMax is the new spot that I've found. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. As far as just finding footage you can't find other places. But you got to be careful. Some of it's like crime stuff or whatever. All right, jumping ahead here. They're playing that song from, gosh, what was it called? Christopher Nolan movie, Inception. The song from that. And it's actually the last song I play in my movie, the scariest movie ever made, 2020. Play the same song at the very end. Okay, enough about me. So let's move ahead here a little. Some more of this footage. All right, moving on. Danish authorities shut down access. Well, speaking of BitChute, we were just there. This goes to show you again where we're at with the censorship, which is so cowardly. It's cowardly. Danish authorities shut down access to BitChute over, quote, dangerous C19 information. Communist Chinese-style state censorship run rampant. Authorities in Denmark have shut down much of the country's access to video platform BitChute in the name of preventing the spread of dangerous information about the Crown V. Denmark's National Police Cyber Crime Center petitioned for a court order to block the site, and ISPs followed suit by blocking access to users. The National let's just say the NC3 has blocked the homepage that your browser has tried to access, contact, as there is reason to assume that from the website commits a violation of criminal law. I guess it's the message you get, which has a background in or connection with the C19 epidemic in Denmark, states a message users see when trying to access BitChute. Now, BitChute, there's some more videos I have tonight from BitChute. It's one of those sites that many people have gone to since all the massive censorship on YT. I'm there, but I'm like 6 other places too, 6 or 7. I'm on a ton of places, so always please check the links below underneath the player. Check all my links and just find out where I'm at, and because that's the time we're in. It really is that crazy. Most of you get this. Some people don't. But it really is turbulent times just for trying to tell the truth or to speak outside of the narrative that's being promoted everywhere on the mainstream through all sources, and social media to celebrities to politicians. All right, we get it. Let's move on. England fans boo players, quote, taking a knee.
I did hear it. It's not something on behalf of our black players that I wanted to hear, because it feels as though it's a criticism of them. I think we have got a situation where some people seem to think it's a political stand that they don't agree with. That's not the reason that the players are doing it. We're supporting each other. So I was pleased that was drowned out by the majority of the crowd, but we can't deny the fact that it happened. And
sorry, man, I was hoping there was a clip of it. I guess there's not. All right, moving on. German study finds lockdown had no effect on stopping the spread of the Crown V. That's the headline. Now we're back here on BitChute. This is the website that the Danish authorities recently blocked from their entire country. Unbelievable, man. But this is a really cool little clip, good compilation, about 5 minutes. Watch this and tell me who's running the video game industry. It's as evil as it gets. Symbolism. Check it out. And check the bottom left-hand corner. You'll see this is changing up, man. This is all kinds of games, some of the biggest games out there. It's always the same symbols, right? All right. I think that's pretty good. That's on BitChute. It's on Jim Crenshaw channel. Watch the whole thing there, but I think you get it. Still good to have a little refresher course on these things. Just remember that we truly, the symbols are a language. And we can understand more of our entertainment, so-called entertainment, our politics. They put Baphomet in the Democrat logo for 2020. Come on, right? But we can see it through the symbols. But it's always good to have a bit of a little refresher like that. This is weird. Military man receives a letter of appreciation from, quote, President Orange Man.
Hey TikTok, what's going on? So as you can see, I'm in my uniform, and I just got done attending a retirement ceremony for a guy I worked with for a number of years. This gentleman just received a letter of appreciation signed by the United States President, Donald J. Trump. I shit you not, that's exactly what it said on the citation. They read the letter of appreciation, and it said, signed, President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. I don't know what the hell's going on. I've attended literally dozens of retirement ceremonies, and those that receive a letter of appreciation is always signed by the current president. I'm not trying to add fuel to any conspiracy fire. I'm just telling you what I witnessed firsthand. There were a number of people there. Everyone, when that was read out loud, were looking around as confused as I am. If it is what it is, that's awesome.
Weird. Right? Cyber Polygon. Will the next globalist war game lead to another convenient catastrophe? Let's see how long this one is. I may have shown you guys this before, but it's World Economic Forum is right there at the top of the pyramid as far as the Great Reset and all the things happening right now and the way things are changing and shifting, turning towards a more controlled system. And we know that with Luciferians, we deal with lesser magic, that they show us what they do or what they're going to do before they do it. It's like a vampire has to be invited in before he can get you. Same idea. So this is from the World Economic Forum, a cyber attack with Crown V-like characteristics. Interesting. Okay. Check this out.
The COVID-19 pandemic has shaken our economies and societies to the core and shown us how vulnerable we are to biological threats. In the digital world, similar risks are being overlooked right now. A cyber attack with COVID-like characteristics would spread faster and further than any biological virus. Its reproductive rate would be around 10 times greater than what we've experienced with the coronavirus. To give you an idea, one of the fastest worms in history, the 2003 Slammer Sapphire worm, doubled in size approximately 3.5 seconds, infecting over 75,000 devices in 10 minutes and almost 11 million devices in 24 hours. Fortunately, at least until now, cyber attacks have not impacted our health the way pandemics have, but the economic damages, and therefore the impact they have had on our daily lives, have been equal and sometimes even greater. You see, the only way to stop the exponential propagation of a COVID-like cyber threat is to fully disconnect the millions of vulnerable devices from one another and from the internet. All of this in a matter of days. A single day without the internet would cost our economies more than $50 billion US, and that's before considering the economic and societal damages should these devices be linked to essential services, such as transport or healthcare. As the digital realm increasingly merges with our physical world, the ripple effects of cyber attacks on our safety just keep on expanding at a faster pace than what we're preparing for. COVID-19 was known as an anticipated risk. So is the digital equivalent. Let's be better prepared for that one. The time is now.
666 right there. Okay, we got it. This is why, and for a long time, I've talked about being prepared just in case. It doesn't mean being a maniac about prepping and constantly fearing the end of it all. We don't want to be in that kind of a mindset, but you can avoid freaking out in the future by preparing now. Let's just make sure you have a little bit of food set aside, maybe some water, weapons, perhaps ammunition, whatever you need for you and yours for a while, a few months. It's not a bad idea. All right, so I'm going to move on. This is a long article. I don't like to read everything because there's so much stuff I'm showing you guys. Zero Hedge, if you want to check that out. Cyber Polygon. So it's you should see it as no coincidence that we've had these cyber attacks, as we mentioned earlier. I mentioned earlier, the last few or several weeks, really, a month and a half, 2 months, I guess. Commerce Secretary Raimondo, cyber attacks are here to stay, will intensify. So here's that.
Good morning. Good to be with you. Let's start with these cyber attacks. 8 attacks every day in the United States right now. They're targeting food, they're targeting gas, they're targeting television, our water supply. Does the government have to do more to force?
This is part of the Great Reset. Remember that.
Let's start with these cyber attacks. 8 attacks every day in the United States right now. They're targeting food, they're targeting gas, they're targeting television, our water supply. Does the government have to do more to...
What the? Okay. Let's see if I can back out of this. Let's refresh it and see if we can play it here.
Good morning. Good to be with you. Let's start with these cyber attacks. Assume, and businesses should assume, that these attacks are here to stay, and if anything, will intensify. And so just last week, the White House sent out a letter broadly to the business community, urging the business community to do more. The only good news here, George, is that some very simple steps, like two-factor authentication, having proper backups and backup technology, can be
okay. I think we're good. We don't need to hear the rest. I mean, the idea, my attitude or my feeling on all this is that the idea is what a convenient way to shut down a country and destroy everything. Oh, now we're getting these cyber attacks that we just can't stop. Attacking our oil, our gas, our food. Again, I see all of this as part of that created collapse that's taking place. AI smart potty monitors bowel health for gastro issues. These will most likely be connected to the smart homes where everything's connected to the internet, where through certain jabs you can eventually be a part of the internet, be connected to it. Perhaps it'll be a digital tattoo, but something that connects you, the human body. It connects us to the internet. It's a part of the transhumanism that's happening now, the so-called new evolution of humanity. According to Duke Today, researchers at Duke announced an artificial intelligence tool that could easily be mounted on a standard toilet to analyze patients' stools and give gastroenterologists suggestions about bowel health. That looks fun. All right, got it. Okay. Smart potty at Duke University. We get it. Ojide and terrorism from white supremacy, the most lethal threat to the homeland. Adolf used to call his area the homeland as well. Okay, let's check some of this out. Some of this magnet stuff. This is really all over the place. I'm starting to see it break a bit into the mainstream. How some people who've taken the poison are becoming magnetized. I'll tell you something, man. I was at my parents' house recently and I grabbed a magnet off of their refrigerator and I said, hey, some people are having this reaction. I tried it on them. Didn't work on either one. I was so happy. I don't know. Hopefully they got some kind of a placebo. I don't know what the deal is, but it didn't work on them at all. They were laughing, thought I was kidding. I showed them some different videos of compilations of people taking magnets and they're sticking to their sites where they got the, boop, boop. And then they were like, what? I was like, yeah. So it's, it's a good thing. It's not, this magnet isn't sticking to your
I'm not vaccinated.
This anomaly's been bugging the shit out of me. So I'm doing everything I can to stay away from that shop. But I think I figured out how they're doing it.
I don't know. That might just be the iron in meat. I don't know. Not sure. Okay. Thought I'd throw it out there. It's on Info News, Meat Supply. Name of the video. Nurse reports
Right, so
all.
for those of you who saw my video, right?
Nurse reports all patients on Crown V patients on hospital floor were double V'd.
Before this one, this is what this pertains to. What's really interesting is I asked people to go look at a video because I thought this is really weird that it's been shared on Rumble, Telegram, all over Twitter.
If she says
And it
the
only had,
bad
like,
word, I'm going to mute it
37,000
real
views.
quick.
But the ironic thing was a couple days ago it had double that. So I was like, well, that's weird. So I had people go, I just did an experiment. I got a message about an hour ago that said that video violated community guidelines. Not. The video was about me telling my personal experience about how everybody on a COVID floor had both vaccinations. Everybody on the COVID floor for the last 2 months, all their patients had both. Comments were full of people who were saying the exact same thing. But nope, that video got flagged and taken down. Why? You can't share your personal experiences anymore? It's not offensive. It wasn't bullying. There are two types of people. Those who actually pursue the truth at all costs, and those who cling to comfort and are in complete denial at all costs.
I think you got the gist of it. And again, most of you understand why I have to be a little extra cautious, okay, with stuff like this. But nurse reports all the patients on the hospital floor have been double poisoned. There it is. There you have it. This is nuts. Insane footage shows the moment a drunk driver crashes off a very high overpass and somehow escapes with minor injuries. This is just crazy. Check this out. They move in closer and you actually see the person and they're fine. It's nuts.
All I saw was a car like off to my left there and in like pieces, and I just wanted to make sure it was someone that had already been taken care of. I want to make sure it's not like a human being sitting in the car.
Hi, ma'am. I have medical coming, okay?
Hi.
You want to go then? All right. I want at least them to be able to check you out first, okay? I know it's cold and everything, but okay.
There's not high audio on that, but
Okay.
hi.
I'm sorry?
All right, there's that. Crazy. This is really nuts too. An Amazon worker is arrested after beating up a 67-year-old woman over the head for her, quote, white privilege. This is on CCTV, but we shared this. I don't know if I can show a lot of that. Because it just goes to show you how programmed, really, so many people are with this white privilege stuff and this real racism, against each other, this hatred that's spreading against people or through people against each other. It's a shame. Westchester school principal made employee take racy pictures lawsuit. A Yonkers school worker was forced to take raunchy photos of her principal posing in a thong at school and store the shots on her cell phone along with wiener pics and other illicit images An explosive federal lawsuit alleges the principal enlisted the underlings' help in order to hide the sexy snaps from her husband and save them for her lover, the school secretary and her attorney told the Post. These are the people in charge of your children. It's indoctrination centers anyway, aren't they? Gazelle Vasquez, a 35-year-old single mom, was hired as a Spanish-speaking secretary for Principal Evelina Medina, 42, at this Robert Dodson School, an 865-student magnet school. On May 24th, 2018, Medina texted Vasquez a photo of a man lying in his bed in his underwear and instructed Vasquez to save the photo for her on her own phone, court papers state. To this day, I don't understand what would make her so comfortable to ask me to do that for her, Vasquez told the Post, explaining that they weren't even friends. I wondered if I don't do this, what would be the repercussions for me at work? I'm a single parent, and I thought, what would happen if I said no? The next day, Medina ushered the secretary into the school office and ordered her to take a photo of her. She hands me the phone and says, close the door, Vasquez told the Post. Medina then proceeded to lower her pants to her ankles, turned around and exposed her butt in thong underwear and posed. When I looked back, her pants were already down, Vasquez recalled. I was shocked. I didn't know what to think. I really just froze. I worried that if I just left her office, there could be a student or employee or anyone there. Her office is in the main office, and there's a lot of traffic. Anyway, there's the picture, I guess. Classy. Keep it classy. There's another one here. Beep, boop. There you go. Censored. All right. There you have it. At least they're taking care of the kids. Wait, what? Okay. This is adorable from RT, Russia Today. A must-have for phono sapiens, a new device to stay focused while walking and being a zombie and staring at your freaking phone. Check this out. So crazy. Idaho bald eagles massacre 54 sheep. It's just weird. Bald eagles in Idaho slaughtered 54 sheep, including some weighing up to 80 pounds, that were grazing on a farm. The series of attacks near the city of Murtaugh cost Rocky Matthews a big portion of his flock, worth an estimated $7,500, he told a local newspaper. In 45 days, I'll be out of sheep, he said. Matthews initially thought that someone was shooting his sheep with a pellet gun, but he changed his hypothesis when he saw an eagle attack them, he said. The eagles built a nest on his property 20 years ago and have lived in relative peace with his animals until recently. He attributed the attacks to both hunger and sport. The water in Murtaugh Lake took longer to warm, resulting in a smaller population of carp, the eagle's primary food source in the area. At the same time, there's some attacks that went beyond gathering food. I truly think he was just honing his skills because you don't kill 7 of them out of need, he told the newspaper. All right, that's about it. I don't know if that's the actual culprit, but it's a good picture. Tell it like it is, it says. Check this out.
This goes out to all you beautiful people. Everyone that's been confused, everyone that is brainwashed, wearing a face nappy on their faces. Dr. Vernon Coleman proves face masks do more harm than good. Trust me. Anyone who puts a clock over their child, it's child abuse, it's attempted murder. You should be ashamed of yourselves, but it doesn't matter. I'm here with the evidence, and I've got the evidence. Balance, Whitty, Hancock, they're all going to jail. Does anyone know that? They're going to jail. Filming me. Check this out. Trust me. Balance, Whitty, Hancock, Boris Johnson, they're going to jail under crimes against humanity. Take that thing off your face, or it resembles is dehumanization and demonic symbols of Satan. Can you honestly ask yourselves, when you wake up in the morning and you stand in front of the mirror and look at yourself, can you honestly say, I'm alive? Well, I am, and I'm going to spread the truth to everybody as much as possible. Anyways, peace, love, and unity to you all. You're my hero.
There you go. I know, not the best audio, but hopefully you caught some of that. This is that magnet stuff that's going on.
Oh my god. It's
This is after people have taken the poison.
Pero no te saco la cara. Vale. Mueve el brazo un poquito adelante y atrás.
Been a lot of videos from Americans, but again, right here we're seeing it's all over the world.
Aquí abajo o algo. Va. La que sea. Arriba, para abajo. Y en la vida no se cae.
keep stick to my nose. There's a legit magnetic pole. It stays on my face. I am gonna. Oh, guys. Okay, this one doesn't work. I'm like shaking right now. I'm like literally shaking. I'm shaking. I'm freak shaking. And I'm just decorating.
You almost got it there. You feel it? Like the pole? Okay. And then the...
And like I mentioned earlier, I tried this with my own folks, didn't work on them, so I don't know the mechanics of it. Many of us don't. I mean, they're not even telling us on the inserts what's actually in these things. So it seems to work on some people. It magnetizes, apparently. And, you know, if this is a real thing, it seems to be, it'll eventually come out all the way, I believe. It seems to be magnetizing a lot of people, and the concern for many is that if you're magnetizing people, what if you change frequencies with Wi-Fi, 5G, things like this? Could it have an effect? So it's I think it's a valid question.
And it's magnetic. Now let's try again. I'm recording you now. You're magnetic. Retouch it. I want to see this.
Attaches. It's floating.
And it just,
Didn't touch anything.
that's insane. Try the other arm.
Same thing. Non, tu peux pas en mettre deux, je crois. Si, tu peux mettre même...
Regardez là, à l'horizontale. Regarde la pièce. Hop, hop, hop. Comme ça, les chemins.
No hay nada, ¿eh? Está seco. Está seco. Está seco. Limpio. Toma ahí. Pegado. Sí. Mira, espera, no te muevas. A ver cuántos somos.
Mira, ahí también.
Una calamita, la cesta con...
Diventerà un robot, ma...
Nada.
All right, I think we got it. That's on Jim Crenshaw BitChute channel. Human magnets are in every country in the world, it would seem. New York City shrink tells Yale audience she fantasizes about banging, booming white people in the head. New York City-based psychiatrist told an audience at Yale School of Medicine in April that she had fantasies of unloading a revolver into the head of any white person that got in my way. More of this madness spreading. Division.
And I'm here for the first time.
This is pretty awesome. How long is this? It's 11 minutes. We're not going to play. Okay, it's not the whole. All right. We're going to play some of this. Mom in Carmel, New York fights back against teaching critical race theory as board tries to tone police her. This is from June 2nd. Check this out.
I'm here tonight not only as a community member, but as a parent in this district. Recently, you sent out a survey wanting to know why parents were not voting yes for this budget. So my situation, my vote for no is a little different. I think the Board of Education and those sitting on the panels are thieves. I think they're liars and have committed treason against our children. My message to this district and the members of the Board of Ed: stop indoctrinating our children. Stop teaching our children to hate the police. Stop teaching our children that if they don't agree with the LGBT community, that they're homophobic. You have no idea each child's life. You don't know what their family lifestyle consists of. You don't know the makeup of their life. You have children like mine who is Muslim and I'm Christian, and everyone would think, they would never believe that of her, right? Because the way she looks, or according to Miss Cyrus, she's too pasty white.
Ma'am, excuse me, I'm up here. Call the superintendent or leave your info for her to call you tomorrow?
Why are we not allowed to discuss names? Why am I not allowed when they purposely themselves expose themselves on social media, talking about calling for the death of a former president, or saying that any child that doesn't believe in Black Lives Matter should be canceled out? Is this what my tax dollars is paying for? You're teaching my children and other children that if they believe in God Almighty, they're part of a cult. These educators put their own names out there. We have Mr. Barry, who took it upon himself with Miss Cyrus to create a curriculum.
That should be it.
Do you want the proof? I have the proof. You created a curriculum of Black Panther indoctrination.
Ma'am,
you use taxpayers' dollars.
Can I ask you one more time? I have no issue hearing what you have to say, but
Why can we not let the public speak? Why can't we let the public know that you're teaching our children to go out and murder our police officers? Do you want the proof? I have the proof. Is that what scares you, the proof? That a parent actually standing up against all of you? Is that what scares you, to call out the names of these people? You work for me. I don't work for you. You have a duty. We are entrusting our children to you. We teach our children morals, values, when they grow up to commit crimes and end up in prison and kill a police officer. It's our fault? No, it's your fault. You're emotionally abusing our children and mentally abusing them. You're demoralizing them by teaching them communist values. This is still America, ma'am. And as long as I'm standing here on this good ground earth of God, I will fight. And this is not the last of me you will see. I'm retired. I have nothing else better to do. We can do it peacefully, or we can take it to the highest courts, because you know and I know I'm not the only parent fighting this all across America right now. Schools are trying to poison our children's minds, teaching them about things that they have no right to be taught in school.
So normally, I'm just gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna just give you just a feedback for a moment. I have no problem having a peaceful discussion. This is not a peaceful discussion.
No, that's your opinion. See, here we go again. This is peaceful. To me, this is peaceful. Well, I'm not burning, looting, and murdering. This is peaceful.
I did not accuse you of that, but I don't have a problem having a conversation with you, a peaceful conversation, which is, this is not.
$6.95 per child in the middle school to buy a curriculum from readtome.org that wasn't even approved by the Board of Ed. The administrators took it upon themselves to buy these books with taxpayer dollars while COVID is going on. How many families are struggling to pay their mortgages? Listen, by all means, you want to teach kids these things, fine. Don't do it on my dollar. Don't infringe on my religious beliefs. Don't infringe. Do you know who makes up the majority of this district? Children from police officers' families. Blues. Back the blue children. Do you know what these children feel like when they come home? Have you spoken to them? No, you're silencing them. This whole cancel culture, you're silencing the children. Where are their rights? They have no rights. Because if they don't believe in the indoctrination, the demonic, twisted, sneaky, vile acts and education, if you call it that you're teaching our children, they don't agree with that. They're either homophobic, they're part of a cult, they're racist. What's racist? Who defines racist? Why? Because do you know what race I am? Do you? You don't. You don't even have an idea. I could be black, I could be white, I could be Asian. You don't know. Who are you to determine that? Who is anyone to determine that?
I love this lady.
Children in the school system, children like other children, they don't look at color. Black and white children, Hispanic children, you know why they get along? Because they don't look at each other's color. So you're the racist, not them, not us. You're judging and dividing. You're causing segregation. Everything that we fought for, everything that I fought for years. So you have the right to stand here and tell me I'm not allowed to mention a name when the person, Mr. Barry and Miss Cyrus themselves, you have ELA teachers giving out assignments on police murder. Police are bad. You want the proof? Because we have it. So what policy do you have that teachers are not allowed to go on social media and indoctrinate? They took an oath, a responsibility, and they're going against everything that they stand for.
Well, I understand.
End it? End it? I have to end it?
So
why? Why? You're on my dollar. Why?
Well, actually,
Why?
I work for nothing doing this.
Oh, you work for nothing. Oh,
I do. This is a volunteer position, number
okay.
one.
It's still my taxes paying for everything. This podium is every taxpayer's dollar here. We have rights. We have rights.
And you're making general assumptions?
No, I'm not making assumptions. I'm not. I know what I'm speaking about. See, I don't agree with you. So it's...
All right, I'll stop there, man. It still has about 4 more minutes or so left, but if you want to watch it, it's on Actively Unwoke YouTube channel. Mom in Carmel, New York fights back against teaching official, etc., etc., etc. You got it. Good stuff. Good to see some parents fighting back. From UFO or UFOvni 2012. They've been around forever. It's from June 5th. Slow flickering lights in the sky, Bloomington, Minnesota. Oh, I know why I wanted to share this with you. That's why. We've covered this type of UFO anomaly on this channel for a couple of years. I just call them ghost lights at this point. Perhaps it's part of a soft disclosure because we're seeing it all over the world in all different kinds of areas. And I've mentioned this before. If it was just 1 or 2 places, especially in a city, and they have been over cities as well, I could, knock it off as a spotlight. But I don't think so. I mean, this really is everywhere. And you'll see. So let's check this one out. This is from June 5th. So it's a little less than a week ago.
Spotted some weird lights in the sky that dimmed on and off. These are 2 different clips pieced together of the same lights in the sky, from 2 vantage points. The sighting took place on May 29, 2021, at approximately 9:30 p.m. at Bush Lake Park in Bloomington, Minnesota. Lights observed approximately 30 minutes. No sound, just lights. I actually left before the lights completed disappeared, so the lights in the sky were longer than 30 minutes. Video recorded with an iPhone. The only edits to these clips are sound removed, 2 video clips combined into one to show you the 2 vantage points, and clips sped up so you can see live.
All right. They always do. This is and I'm okay with it because I've done, look at my early videos in 2011, 2012, whenever. And there's some videos like this where it's just paranormal stuff with kind of a music, thing in the background. But there were people doing it back then outside of my channel as well. It's an old school kind of way to do these things. But anyway, but he's one of the old school. UFO OVNI has been around for a long time, 2012. All right, moving on. Deepfakes, how easy it is to fool people these days. Check this out.
In this reel, you're going to see my amigo, Chris Umi. He's going to introduce to you the wonderful world of deepfakes, how AI and VFX are unlocking the future of our imagination. What's up, TikTok? You guys cool if I play some sports? How come nobody ever told me there's bubble gum? Incredible. Oh, yeah. That's incredible.
All right, moving on. I showed a clip from Dr. Baker probably a couple months ago, maybe a month and a half ago. He's one of these guys who's saying that he's no longer going to allow patients to come to his clinic that have the poison because of the shedding. Now, again, this is something that, if you're not familiar with, or if you're only familiar with mainstream sources, you're going to think this is bonkers. But there is a lot of evidence of a shedding taking place, of people getting the poison or getting the, the beep burp, the bop, and then it's shedding to people around them. My attitude is, and I'm careful and cautious with all this kind of stuff at first, but I believe that if all these things are real, that they'll just continue to grow. I mean, there's so many people have been taking this poison that eventually it's just going to keep growing. And people are putting videos on TikTok now of adverse reactions to it. Now, these kind of things get ripped down really quick, especially from all the big social media. They take these things down really quick. But people like myself find them and try to set them aside and put them away. So I've seen a lot of it. I've shown you guys some on these shows, but I have to be careful with it, of course, just to maintain this channel. But this was interesting. Apparently, they sent out Freemason Jimmy Kimmel. I did a video way back about it's a lot of things happening in Hollywood, but it was kind of the connection to the ancient gods on Hollywood Boulevard. And in that video, I showed some things about the theater that Jimmy Kimmel shows in. It's a Freemason lodge, an old Hollywood Freemason lodge. I certainly believe he's one of them, towing the line, pushing the narrative, pushing the agenda. And that's why it really blew my mind when I found out that Jimmy Kimmel, on one of his shows recently, he tried to roast this Dr. Baker on his show, on his platform, in front of millions of people in America. He tried to make this a thing. So this is the doctor's response to Kimmel. He's even saying, hey, let's debate. I'm open to it, whatever. But I can't share that because this is really long, I think. It's 16 minutes. I'll show some.
Hey, everybody. Dr. Baker here. I got to tell you, I was sitting there trying to watch a movie last night, and my phone just keeps ringing, right? And it just keeps ringing with like random ass numbers that I've never heard of. And
So I'm not. It's like 10:30 at night. I'm trying to just relax. I don't know if it's a new patient, some random person, and so I listened to a voicemail, and his voicemail, this guy goes, "Hey," like basically like, "Hey, dickhead, I just heard you on Jimmy Kimmel Live." I'm like, "Jimmy Kimmel Live? How the hell would that happen?" So I go on my phone and I watch it, and Jimmy Kimmel is roasting me. Which, Jimmy, hey, hats off to you, man. It was pretty funny. Like, I want to take it like a good sport, and honestly, like, hey, I get it. You're a comedian. Like, it's funny, but I'd like to just talk to you a little bit and kind of justify a couple of my comments, and also just make fun of you a little bit because you're kind of a dipshit too. So, real quick, I'd like to play a couple real quick voicemails for you, and then I'm going to put these people. These people have been calling my office, and like your voicemail hurts my feelings or something. We've been laughing about it all morning. But I want to put some of these phone numbers on there so that you guys, I mean, hey, don't be mean to them, but just feel free to reach out, shoot them a text, let them know how awesome they are. But listen to this one.
I just saw your video. You might be one of the stupidest people alive. Stop calling yourself a doctor. You're a chiropractor.
Wait, it's better.
You're an embarrassment to the United States. So, just hide in a hole.
You're an embarrassment to the United States. Thank you, sir, whoever you were. Here's another good one.
Hello, Dr. Baker. I got to assume you've been drummed out of business by now with your stupidity. Oh my God, you have got to feel like the world's biggest jackass. I like to be put on Jimmy Kimmel. you are a complete idiot. I can't believe that anybody would actually go to you after your nonsense. What an asshole.
Funny, actually, the first week after we instituted our new patient policy, we had 19 new patients, and last week we had 13 new patients. So I don't know how many of you guys understand how many new patients typically go to chiropractors, but to have 30 some odd new patients without ever any marketing or asking for them at all, thank you, sir, but we're actually doing quite well. Have a nice day. Let's see here. Let's watch some of Jimmy Kimmel roast. I mean, listen, I did not see this coming. Listen, this video, just so you guys know, I didn't even post this video, just to be clear. I posted it I went live on Facebook. I was a little upset. I thought, that was a little harsh. And I said a couple of things that I kind of wish I wouldn't have said, which he happened to find the two things that I wish I wouldn't have said. And that's cool. That's how you do a good roast. So I went back to delete the video because I recorded a better one and put it on Instagram and sent it on an email list. And by the time I went back to delete it later, when I was done seeing patients, Facebook had put me on a 7-day deactivation or whatever. Well, somebody had taken that video, uploaded it onto BitChute, and that's how this whole thing just took off. So anyway, here we go. Ready?
And the source of that for this information they're publishing is, get ready, this North Face hoodie wearing chiropractor named Dr. Stephen Baker.
I dressed up for you today, Jimmy.
Concerned about your health.
I am not willing to watch somebody who made a poor decision and got the shots stand next to a young female in my office and risk the chance of her becoming infertile. It's not happening on my watch.
He's saying that you can get infected from vaccinated people standing next to you, and the chiropractor knows this because
No, Jimmy. I didn't say that. A lot of women around the country are saying that. And if you know somebody who said that, feel free to comment below. Please share that. And I'm telling him what I've seen with my patients, even though he decides to misunderstand that. And you know what? When he posted this on his Instagram page to blast me, so many people went on there and started posting comments going, hey, guess what? It happened to me too. Oh, Jimmy, why are you pushing the vaccine? What's the deal, Jimmy? That they actually stopped allowing comments on Jimmy Kimmel's Facebook or Instagram page. What are your thoughts now, Jimmy? Let's go.
On in his office.
All I know is that when I ask the females in my office, they are all having, not all, 80% are having weird female cycles.
Okay, let's put how insanely creepy it is that you're going around the office asking your female employees about their cycles aside, and let's focus on the numbers here. 80.
I don't think you quite understood what I meant by that. First of all, I had just gotten done asking 5 females, and 4 of them had a problem. So yes, I'm here to admit that is a somewhat extrapolated cherry picker statistic. You got me, guilty. 4 out of 5 is 80%, and it was my patients, not my employees. And second of all, Jimmy, I don't know if maybe you're not a primary care physician, like I actually am. Maybe you don't actually have a real normal, intimate relationship with your patients and know what's going on with their health, like I actually do. But it's not weird in my office for a woman to say, hey, I've had a crazy cycle the last couple months. Do you have any idea why? Like, what's going on? Because this is not just a crack your back, see you later when it hurts. This is you get adjusted, your body heals and functions better, and a lot of symptoms like PCOS.
Okay, so this goes on. Like I said, I don't want to play the whole thing. It'd take forever. But, again, this Jim Crenshaw, this channel puts up a lot of, I think, good stuff over on BitChute. Dr. Baker responds to Jimmy Kimmel. Check it out. Another sinkhole, man. Giant sinkhole appears in Puebla, Mexico. Check this out. Be careful playing the music. They always strike you on the music. Look at that, the structure right there on the side of that. But this is the second, right? It's the second sinkhole we've seen. And this is Mexico. The other one was Israel. And I believe there's 2 more coming up tonight. Let's see. Grimes, which is she's the wife of Elon Musk, talks about communism and AI and TikTok, and everyone's confused.
Proposition for the communists. So typically, I have a proposition for the communists. So typically, most of the communists I know are not big fans of AI. But if you think about it, AI is actually the fastest path to communism. So if implemented correctly, AI could actually theoretically solve for abundance. Like, we could totally get to a situation where nobody has to work, everybody is provided for with a comfortable state of being, comfortable living. AI could automate all the farming, weed out systematic corruption, thereby bringing us to as close as possible to genuine equality. So basically, everything that everybody loves about communism, but without the collective farm. Because let's be real, enforced farming is really not a vibe.
Okay. Well, we already know that spirit's taking place. It's already in America, and it's getting more intense as time goes on. But communism is taking over. Interesting that Grimes, this is again the wife and the mother of his child, talks about communism and AI on TikTok, and everyone is confused. I'm confused. North Carolina County bans Coke vending machines because the company is too left-wing. Headline. Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg, we need to find and terminate people who leak stuff, and we're very good at rooting out people who are leaking stuff. Let's check this out. Speaking of AI, it's a creepy dude.
Question has been in the comments, not only here for Q&A, but also in the poll that I post every week, and something I'm also pretty curious about myself. So Project Veritas posted another video based on leaked materials that expose our colleagues' names and also put them at risk. So what are we doing to actually stop leakers, and how are we keeping our colleagues safe? And I know that Heidi is on the line as well to help you answer this one, but something that I've seen in the comments quite frequently.
Yeah, and I mean, Heidi should definitely jump in on this, but I mean, there are a lot of questions that we get a lot of the time around, when people leak stuff, do we find them? And, I've been clear that we have the number of efforts to find people and we terminate people and pursue the recourse that we have when we identify them. And in this case, we did find them. So, Heidi maybe can talk a bit about that. But we generally don't talk about it or go out of our way when we find folks who leak. But we do a reasonably good job at this, and I think it's the kind of flip side of the coin for having an open culture is we can be open and we can share a lot of stuff, but we also need to be very good rooting out people who are leaking stuff. And
You're telling the truth.
I think over the last year there have been more leaks than I think all of us would have wanted, but we also find a lot of the folks and terminate them. So anyhow, Heidi, why don't you go for it?
Sure, I'm happy to. As you said, we generally.
All right, so I'm not going to play the whole thing, but that's on Project Veritas. Check that out. Italian artist sells invisible statue to some dope for a whopping $18,000.
Makes a big sale that you can't see. In Italy, an artist specializing in invisible art makes a big sale that you can't see. Salvatore Garral says this taped-off area in a piazza in Milan is where you'll find his first invisible sculpture titled Buddha in Contemplation. He says the sculpture is made of air and spirit and is meant to activate the viewer's imagination. The one in this video isn't the one that was sold, but it just looks like it. The buyer paid over $18,000. They also received a certificate of authentication signed and stamped by the artist, along with instructions to display the invisible sculpture in a private home in an area that is 5 by 5 feet. Critics, however, say his works of art are nothing, but Garral says they're full of energy. Okay. Would you buy that? No.
I wouldn't pay $1 for that.
As you shouldn't.
$18,000?
18 grand.
Come on.
It's a fungible token.
Shocking video shows baby-faced bandits who opened fire on Florida cops. You guys heard about this? You probably did. This one went pretty big. Dramatic police body cam footage shows the moment a baby-faced Bonnie and Clyde opened fire on cops in Florida with an AK-47 and a shotgun before the 14-year-old runaway was struck by deputies and screams out in pain. Pint-sized outlaws opened fire on the deputies as they approached the house following a report of a break-in. Wow. There they are. These two kids. Well, there you go. A strange generation indeed. Shocked video of 5-year-old child left stranded at southern border. Check this out.
Right there, we're going to play it for you. But he's carrying his teddy bear, and he's left at the border by a man and a woman. It is a 5-year-old little boy right there. We're going to play it for you. But he's carrying his teddy bear, and he's left at the border by a man and a woman. They're walking away, and he is screaming, "Please don't leave me. Come back." Listen.
That sucks. Moving on. Biden now offering free beer for people to take one of the non-FDA approved experimental Crown V's.
Beer and baseball tickets are up for grabs as the White House doubles down on its efforts to get more. Free beer and baseball tickets are up for grabs as the White House doubles down on its efforts to get more Americans vaccinated. The new incentives are part of U.S. President Joe Biden's National Month of Action, announced Wednesday.
That's right. Get a shot and have a beer.
One is a new partnership with Anheuser-Busch, which promised to buy Americans 21 and older a round of beer if Biden's goal is reached to have 70% of you at least vaccinated by the 4th of July. Biden also said Major League Baseball will give free tickets to people who get vaccinated in the park, and for parents and caregivers, free child care so that they can get their shots.
Tens of millions of Americans have been vaccinated.
This week, the president closes in on his 70% goal. Currently, about 63% of U.S. adults have received, according to government data.
Let's go into the summer freer and safer.
Encouraging holdouts.
Summer, freer and safer. Most popular president in American history. India 5G towers. I think there's subtitles here. So I'm not sure, okay, but I'll throw it out there. So on BitChute, India 5G towers kill 32 villagers in 20 days. Links to the continuing story below.
एक और लोग अपने चुनाव के बाद खुशियां का इजहार कर रहे हैं, वहीं पर लगभग बीते 20 दिनों में 32 मौतें हो चुकी हैं।
इस बात मनोहर दुबे जी से, दुबे जी क्या मामला, क्यों इतनी मौतें हो रही है आपके यहाँ?
ये जब से 5G टावर लगा है तब से हमारे गांव में 32 लाश गिरी है और रोज के लोग मरते हैं, कब तक हम लाश उठाएंगे? जब आदमी नहीं रह जाएगा तो हम 5G को क्या करेंगे? जो हमारा 4G चलता था उसी से हमारा काम चलता था, तो हमको 5G की क्या जरूरत है?
नहीं, 5G लगा दिया, कब पता चला आपको?
अरे 20-21 दिन से, अभी पता है 21 दिन हुए, 20-22 दिन हुए लगे।
और कितनी मौतें हो गई?
32 लाश गिरी है।
आपके घर से कौन खत्म?
हमारी औरत खुद खत्म हो, आज हमारी लड़की मरते बच गई, तो बताओ हम लाश उठाने के लिए बने हैं क्या? हमको गवर्नमेंट कोई साहब ये बता दे कि लाश उठाने के लिए तो हमको भी गोली मार दे, क्या मतलब है हमारा जीने का?
अच्छा, यहीं पर भी मौत हो रही है कि मतलब आपके अगल बगल जो गांव है?
नहीं, अगल बगल नहीं हो रहे, अगल बगल नहीं हो, हमारे गांव में ही हो रही हैं।
क्या कर रहे हैं आप?
हमारे ही गांव में ही मृत्युआं हो रही हैं।
कितनी मौतें हो चुकी?
32।
और अगल बगल भी एक भी मौत नहीं?
नहीं, एक को नहीं। को मौत नहीं हो रही है, क्या मतलब है जी? या को मौत नहीं हो रही अगल बगल पूर्वन में,
तो मतलब आप लोगों का मानना है कि जो टावर है इसके रेडिएशन से मौतें हो रही है?
हाँ, इसी से मौत हो रहा है। अगर नहीं मानना तो 1 महीने के लिए हटा के देख लें, हमारे गांव में मृत्यु नहीं होगी।
मतलब इनके कहने का मतलब स्पष्ट है, आप हमारे 20 दिन से लगाया, 20 दिन में 32 मौतें हो चुकी है। अब आप उसको आप हटाइए और हटा लीजिए, अगर फिर भी मौतें हो रही है तो हम मान लेंगे कि ये टावर की वजह से मौतें नहीं हो रही है, ये कोई और कारण है। कोविड भी तो हो सकता है भैया।
नहीं जी, हाँ यही बात है। कोविड भैया पर साल रहा, एक भी मौत नहीं हमारे गांव में हुई जी। कोविड पर साल भी रहा है, एक भी मौत हमारे गांव में नहीं हुई।
इस मामले पे और किसी को, अधिकारियों को या किसी को सूचना दी आप लोग?
हमने किसी को नहीं दिया, आप देंगे?
अब देंगे आप लोग?
हाँ, जो हो सकेगा करेंगे, चाहे मरना पड़े चाहे कुछ भी करना पड़े।
क्या कर रहे हैं?
हाँ, हमारा गांव सब तैयार है।
पहले मौतें हुई तो लगा कि बीमारी से हो रही होंगी, क्यों?
मगर हर आदमी को इस समय ऑक्सीजन का एहसास हो रहा है कि यहाँ पे कोई झाड़ मार रही है जब से टावर लगा है 20 दिन में।
भैया तुमको
All right. Again, don't want to play the whole thing, but you can watch it because it's still several minutes long. But it's over on BitChute. Exposed India 5G towers, all that. Okay. Police threaten journalist at home, warning him not to cover a protest.
Just from that's just from the Assistant Commissioner Cornelius, Mr. Cornelius. So that's for you to read. That's pretty much just strongly advising you guys to not come into the city tomorrow in breach of the trail directions and in breach of coming into the 5K radius. That's all it is.
Why us? I think who's us?
I'm just saying, so this is what I asked Assistant Commissioner. I don't know anything more about it. It's for you to read. We're just here to deliver it. That's all I can say. So everything that's happening tomorrow, or that you want to come into the city tomorrow, it's just strongly advised that you don't do it, that you don't participate, and that you're not there under the allegedly breach of it. So that's all it is. We're going to go because we've delivered that, and that's pretty much all we need to do.
Okay.
You're an independent journalist. We've watched your work throughout the lockdown. You've never organised anything. Tell us what happened.
No, so the police rocked up at my house yesterday. So somehow they got my address. I wasn't home. I was walking the dog, and my wife went down, and they handed her a letter from Luke Cornelius, pretty much to say that I shouldn't be here today because I'm a protest organizer or causing trouble, whatever it is. But I've done a lot of work throughout this year, very hard work actually, to establish that I'm actually a credible independent journalist. Now, I don't know what kind of research the police have done, or they're just sending out random letters to everyone. But I feel like it's very targeted because I've never organized anything. And it's very clear that they've watched my work previously as well, because some of them have commented on it previously, in person, I'm saying. So they know who I am. So to actually send that letter to ensure that I don't come today to cover what's happening today is just over the top. And it's frankly something that I don't expect to see in this country. It's just shameful, really, to have the police rock up at night to stop someone who's a journalist or a part of the press, to stop them from doing their work the next day.
When we first walked in the park today, they stopped me and they said, "You're not an accredited journalist," as in Victoria Police hasn't deemed you a journalist, and they tried to arrest me. It was a whole interaction. They called legal, and then they realised they lost the argument and they wouldn't apologise. The point is that Victoria Police are certainly picking a side, saying, if you are critical of our police overreach, our behaviour, our police brutality throughout the previous lockdowns, and you're coming here to expose what we plan to do today, we're going to shut you down.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what's happening. There's no other way to explain why they would come and why they would ask for details like that,
And there is no such thing as accreditation from the Victoria Police for me or you to come to a public space and to cover something that's happening in our community. As independent journalists, as people who are working within the community and doing the work that we do, that people watch and people listen to us, and they're expecting us to do this kind of work as well, we have every right to be here to capture what they're doing in public. Now, if they're not doing anything wrong, there's nothing for the police to worry about. So they should not actually care at all that the media is there. They should be happy that we're here to catch these interactions because they're abiding by the laws and they're treating citizens of these states according to the law. But obviously, if they're trying to stop the press from coming, if they're trying to stop you from coming to cover what they're doing, they know that there's a problem and they know that the community is working up to those issues as well, and they don't want that to be seen. I wasn't intimidated, but they came to my family home, you know, and I have immigrant parents, and you know they found out about
bunch of Masons. Right, I'll stop it there. It's on rebelnews.com. Police threaten journalist at home, warning him not to cover a protest. Principal calls parents wackos and pushy for speaking out against critical race theory and apologizes after her emailed insults come to light. I'm hoping there's a video. Yeah, this might be it. Let's see.
Next public comment comes from Ms. Courtney.
That's 12 minutes.
Before the governing school board
Let's do 3.
today is a vote for a new curriculum that appears
It
well
won't let me
intentioned,
do full screen.
appealing, even empathetic, but in actuality further divides us. When you peel back the layers of this onion, you will see that it promotes taking from one group in order to compensate a second group, to correct injustices caused by a third group, who mistreated a fourth group by an earlier point in history. It's absurd. Not only does it not promote justice, it does the opposite. It promotes racism. And you cannot cure racism with more racism.
Stop diluting student education with political correct, feel-good propaganda.
I didn't come prepared with statistics or anything. I'm just basically coming from a parent and my own personal experience as a parent. I'm the mother of a high school senior and an 8th grade son. And my fear is this type of curriculum will actually breed more racism and more divide in our country rather than unity. I fear that this is actually taking a step backward.
The recent events have brought to light the failure of our education system. The young people we witnessed rioting and looting in some of our largest cities came out of an education system that had taught them to hate America.
I'd rather empower people in minority groups to rise above and not do anything that's going to create a victim mentality that if you're born a certain way, that you're now not afforded the same options in our country that everyone else is. Because I think we live in a country where if you put forth the effort, there's opportunities out there for everyone.
The source of the hatred can be traced directly to the emphasis on identity culture, which separates us into special interest groups. Each group is isolated from the other by mistrust, stemming from perceived grievances and artificial cultural barriers.
Yet the National Education Association feels it's their duty to indoctrinate our children and further strip parents of their rights to teach their children their values and their morals. They want to teach a revisionist American history that teaches victimhood, entitlement, and the loathing for our country. We do not want or need this curriculum in our Peoria schools.
Parents who haven't woken up, please do. Quickly. When pressed on why U.S. has seen 2 massive cyber attacks under Biden, Psaki tells Peter Doocy to track down Russian hackers and ask them. All these people are snippy. They're snippy with no real answers. Let's check this out.
These hackers based on the JBS hack, these hackers based in Russia have disrupted American gas supplies and American meat supplies. Why do you think that these ransomware attacks have been rising since President Biden took office?
Well, first I would say these are private sector entities who have a responsibility to put in place measures to protect their own cybersecurity. As it relates to why criminal actors are taking actions against private sector entities, I don't think I'm the right one to speak to that.
The total coincidence.
I think you could certainly go track down those cyber criminals in Russia and have a good chat with them.
Okay. If you have any leads.
Okay.
It's always Russia, 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 isn't it? Russia's going to come get you. Is it a bird? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's an idiot. Comedian dressed as Superman is hit by a bus while pretending to stop it with his hand in Brazil. Let's check this out.
Agora eu vi que eu sou de aço. Terráqueos. Motorista, a volume é o freio. O freio desse carro denúncia. Não tá bom. Agora eu vi que eu sou de aço. Terráqueos.
Okay, we got it. Cool. Moving on. Why? Oh, this is nuts. Wild TikTok video shows a Utah woman pushing a large bear to protect her dogs. This bear messed with the wrong mama. I'll tell you that. Check this out. It's on VidMax. That is just pure adrenaline right there. Love it. Pure adrenaline. Do not mess with my pups. Black Dad and his adorable daughter destroy critical waste theory in a viral Twitter video.
You can be any.
Let's check this out. I like these kinds of videos. Speak truth to power, my friends.
Daddy teaches you can be anything in this world that you want to be, right? Don't Daddy teach you that?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're black or white or any color.
Doesn't matter if you're black, white, brown, yellow. Right?
Black.
And how we treat people is based on who they are and not what color they are.
And if they're nice and smart.
See, this is how children think right here. Critical race theory wants to end that. Not with my children. It's not gonna happen. My baby's gonna know that no matter what she wants to be in life, all she has to do is work hard and she can become that.
Work hard even though you don't know anyone. You can make friends.
Yeah, you can make friends, no matter what color they are. So we need to stop CRT, period, point blank. Children do not see skin color, man. They love everybody. If they're good people, they love them.
We pray for people that are hurt.
Love it. Love it. Moving on. Okay, I think we saw this earlier. Yeah, Blue's Clues and Nickelodeon. We saw that earlier. New York City will start giving the poison to students in public schools, de Blasio says. San Francisco Giants debut special pride uniforms, first MLB team to do so. There's some pictures here. There we go. But it's the agenda. Again, this isn't a hate towards people who might be gay and something like that. But it really is a part of the Antichrist agenda, the beast system agenda. All of it. With this. All right, got it. Understood. Marxist BL plus M leader calls for reparations in form of land reapportionment from wealthy white people. Fartsy's upcoming book, Scrubbed on Amazon, Barnes and Noble amid backlash. That's good news. Good. Biden makes bizarre start to Tulsa speech by running off stage to make sure that 2 little girls got ice cream before getting date of the Capitol riot wrong. Where's that video? Dude's such a creep anyway. Don't even know how real he is. Where's that video? Let's do a Biden ice cream videos. There it is.
And I got to make one check. And I got to make one check. I got to make one check. I just had to make sure the 2 girls got ice cream when this is over. Imagine how excited you'd be when you're 4, 5, almost 5 years old, coming to hear a president speak.
And make sure they get a little ice cream. Oh, goodness. Honk, honk. Okay, so here's Governor Newsom, American Psycho, Patrick Bateman, American Psycho, giving a $50 gift card because this lady just got some poison.
There you go. Yeah. You got your shot?
Yeah, I just got my shot.
I mean, then I owe you $50.
Yes, yeah, I owe you $50. Good slave. Moving on. Okay, another one of these kind of cool little reminders. It's only 3 minutes long. Beyoncé and Jay-Z, being Satanists, share this with some people who may need a wake-up call. I like these because, this is the stuff I've been covering, of course, for like 15 years now. But it's always cool, super cool to see the new generations, the young people coming up and exposing this stuff. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that gets wiped and taken down off a lot of the major social media. So it's good to see some of these young folk coming up here and talking about this. This is a good little rundown of Jay-Z and Beyonce and their satanic ties.
Don't even realize you're supporting Satanists. Let's talk about Jay-Z. And I ain't said nothing yet, so don't get in your feelings. I know a lot of y'all worship this man. Let's just go over a couple of things and you guys be the judge. Jay-Z is always making this sign, right? Yet nobody really knows what it means. Y'all just throw it up out of ignorance. What could this sign possibly actually truly represent? Oh, I think I know. That, my friends, is a Freemason sign with the all-seeing eye in the middle of it. The actual Mason sign has a G in the middle of it. But what is a Mason? This is something you can't even ask Masons because they're sworn to secrecy. So let's dig deeper ourselves. How is it that the Mason symbol lines up exactly with the satanic symbol? It's because Masons are secretly Satanists. And a lot of them don't even really know it. This says, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. In other words, do what you want to. Now, where did that saying come from? It came from this demonic lunatic, Aleister Crowley. Dun-da-da-da. Check out Jay-Z's sweater. Do what thou wilt. Do what thou wilt was on the satanic symbol, right? Now, who started the satanic church? Anton LaVey. And look at the sign he's holding up. It's getting deeper now, ain't it? Anton LaVey again, throwing up the rock sign. My friends, why is Jay-Z throwing up the same sign as the man who started the satanic church throwing up? Who also made the satanic Bible? I'll tell you why. Here goes Jay-Z in the Mason Lounge with Mason Brothers. Check this out. This is the Order of the Eastern Star, a Masonic sign. Now you tell me what it looked like. If you guessed satanic symbol, you guessed right. They're one and the same, people. Freemasons are Satanists. Satanists that are sworn to secrecy. And let's just be honest, Freemasons don't sound as bad as Satanists. However, they're one and the same. And almost every one of your favorite celebrities is one of them. Check this demonic mess out. What's it say at the top? Do what thou wilt. They don't hide nothing. It's right in your face. They think that you are stupid. The word of God says my people perish because of lack of knowledge. You have eyes but don't see. Stop ignoring what's right in front of your face. One of Jay-Z's clothing lines with the all-seeing eye at the top. Jay-Z's lyrics. Jesus can't save you. Life starts when the church ends. People really be in the concert rapping that. Satanists hate Jesus, and they own everything. Why do you think almost every movie has the name Jesus in it, but they say it in a derogatory way? They're subconsciously brainwashing you. Why does Jay-Z call...
Man, what a great point. You guys notice that? You know, I watch a lot of stuff, and in fact, my new video, you'll see some of the things I've been watching here lately. More worldly type stuff, just to see the message they're putting out. It's like I've mentioned before, it's like a coach of a football team studying the other team before they go against them so they can understand them. That's why I've done what I've done for so many years. But like I said, I love seeing the younger people seeing this, putting it out there. It doesn't get put out there quite as much anymore. And, you know, a lot of us are being moved to other places off the mainstream to continue this kind of knowledge out there. But anyway, I'm rambling, I know. Let's continue. Oh, his point though about them saying Jesus in all these movies, that was what I was trying to get to. That's what I've noticed a lot in a lot of the movies I watch, horror movies, thrillers, things like this. They always use Jesus' name in vain, constantly, and God D. They use that a lot as well, but we understand why. That's why. And this young man picked up on that. All right, let's continue.
Lyrics. Jesus can't save you. Life starts when the church ends. People really be in the concert rapping that. Satanists hate Jesus, and they own everything. Why do you think almost every movie has the name Jesus in it, but they say it in a derogatory way? They're subconsciously brainwashing you. Why does Jay-Z call himself Jehovah? Sounds similar to Jehovah. Coincidence? I think not. Answer something else for me. Why is Jay-Z with this witch? Complete witch. Complete witch. Why is he with her? This is who a lot of y'all look up to, right? And what happened to innocent Beyonce? This ain't art. It's symbolic, people. Y'all gotta stop worshiping these people and open your eyes. Let me show y'all something. You remember this performance? This outfit Beyonce wore? This is the Horror Babylon robot from the 1927 movie Metropolis. Look at the symbol in the back. This is a replica of that outfit. Coincidence? I think not. Check this out. Beyonce's drummer of 7 years, Kimberly Thompson, Quentin filed restraining order over extreme witchcraft. Y'all open your eyes yet? Are y'all still worshiping these people and you too blind to see?
I raised my hands up. I felt something else come into me.
Yeah, that was a demon.
Love it. Yeah, that's that. And that's on Freiheits Freund BitChute channel, Beyonce and Jay-Z being Satanists. If you want to share that, watch it again. Pentagon requests blowout budget to fight climate crisis, which is, of course, one of the globalists' favorite causes, and extremism among troops, which means anybody that won't go with plan. Now, those are some other videos I couldn't show this week, and again, I'll put them in something else soon outside of YouTube. But there's more and more military rising up, military members, men and women, making little videos and putting them out there on TikTok, Instagram, other places, and they're saying, why aren't we, rising up or doing something? So again, I can't really show those here, but I'll put those together somewhere else. EU launches digital wallet in latest step towards cashless society. Which lines up perfectly, of course, with the division taking place now. If you've got the poison or not, soon it'll be the mark of the beast, right? You can't buy, sell, or trade without it. Argentina, a poison injection site turns on the Bluetooth in the cell phone, and the cell phone sticks to it.
Estamos buscando un nuevo dispositivo. Apagar el Bluetooth, está apagado. Ahora está activado. Mi compañero se vacunó con la Pfizer el 21 del 5. Estamos buscando un nuevo dispositivo. Había aparecido, pero ahí apareció. J43 con la Pfizer. Celular pesado, iPhone 11. Un celular pesado, pesadito, y cuando uno lo levanta sale un efecto ventoso. ¡Oh, tremendo! ¿Y qué pesa el celular? Soy yo, Gerardo Álvarez.
All right. It's on Twitter. Moving on. Biden says two. Okay, so goes back to, and we've talked about this on the channel here for a while, but again, this goes back to the idea of it's not an issue against different races mixing. That's a whole other thing, right? It's like whatever you're attracted to, you're attracted to. But we have seen an obvious push in our mainstream media, especially commercials, over the last 6 months or so, really pushing. It's constantly, it's black and white couples, and it even looks awkward and feels awkward, I guess, just because we know they're pushing it so often. Again, I have nothing against that. Personally, even in the way I've lived my life, you care about who you care about, you love who you love. I don't see it in the colors or whatever, but we know that's what the system is, and it's forcing us to try to look at things in that way. But there has been an obvious, and I'm sure y'all seen it if you watch TV much, you've seen every other commercial is a mixed race, black and white couple. It feels forced, at least in many of us, we feel it in our spirit. Like something about this feels forced. It feels plastic, fake, false. For years, we've had videos with mixed couples. No big deal. That's fine. But we just see more of a push of it now. Are you guys with me on this? Have you seen this? There has been an increase, but this right here is where Biden's actually admitting it. It's all a part of their propaganda program. Let's see here. Hopefully it'll play. It's pausing. I'll just read down here. It says Biden says you turn on the stations. I don't know many commercials you see. Here we go.
Turn on the stations. Sit on one station. Find today. When you turn on the stations, sit on one station for 2 hours. And I don't know how many commercials you'll see. Like 8 to 5. 2 to 3 out of 5 have mixed race couples in them. That's not by accident. They're selling soap, man.
It's not by accident. They're telling talk, man. But the point is that, again, we see this, and it's all part of the propaganda kind of push. This is from 99% BitChute channel. Poppy, she became famous on YouTube. Illuminati viral YouTube star who predicted the Crown V back in 2016 and kept on telling us. We'll watch some of this.
Hi, I'm Poppy. I'd like to introduce you to the Icky Babies. It all becomes... The future is very, very strange to me. I miss the past. Can we go back? Really? Can we go back? Can you help me go back? We're gonna go back, aren't we? We're going back. I'm with you. If they're gonna let me tell you. Oh no! Why is there a sneeze? Why is there... What's happening to me? Is Poppy okay? Is Poppy going to... It's just above the nose for a snug fit. And now you're ready to go show off your new mask. You look great.
March 20th, 2017 with this mask clip. And we've seen those. I put those clips in a lot of my kind of music videos with the fashion masks. Fashionable is fashion. Okay. Had to jump through. Don't want to play the whole thing, but again, that's on BitChute. Poppy the... There we go. all that. Over on 99%. Scientists have invented a mind-reading machine that visualizes your thoughts. All right, moving on. This is super long, but I wanted to share in case you guys want to watch this. It's almost an hour long, but I think it was really fantastic. This is from March 15th, 2014. Annie Jacobson explaining Operation Paperclip. Operation Paperclip is still totally in effect today, and a lot of the ramifications of it are in effect today with what's happening in our world, and I highly suggest you check this out. So there you go. I just want to share that. It's on Politics and Prose YouTube channel. Parents of first graders in posh New York school outraged over this video being shown to their children, encouraging them to play with themselves. It's always perverting the children now, isn't it?
Whoa, watch it. You almost hit me in the pee-pee. What's so funny, you two? He said pee-pee. Do you notice that when you say pee-pee, you giggle, but when you say penis, you say it in a serious voice? I never noticed that before. Some children and adults feel uncomfortable when they talk about their private parts, so they make up cute or funny names for them. What's one for a girl's private parts? Vajayjay!
I don't want to play the whole thing, but I think you get the general idea. I saw some of this earlier. Once again, it always goes back to now, what's happening nowadays. The last few years, even with Desmond is Amazing and whatnot, it's about perverting the children, sexualizing the kids.
Has Dr. Stump
This is pretty wild. You guys seen this? Check. Here's another one of these. Again, more of this stuff's coming out in the mainstream. This is from, it's a little older, May 21st, so last month. 3 weeks ago or so? But it's from John Daniels' YouTube channel. Let's check this out.
It's developing. It's an extremely rare side effect of COVID, and it has doctors stumped. Patients developing massively enlarged tongues.
It is truly bizarre. And tonight, Stephanie Whitfield is talking to a Katy woman who developed this condition, and we want to alert you, the images are uncomfortable to look at.
I love hamburgers and chicken.
Karen Washington recorded this video happily talking about her favorite foods because for 6 months, the Katy preschool teacher was fed through a tube. A stroke left her in a coma for 2 weeks. When she woke up, her tongue was incredibly swollen.
I couldn't eat, I couldn't talk, I couldn't do nothing. It was just hanging all the way down to my chin.
She had what's called macroglossia. We told you about the rare condition last fall when we shared Anthony Jones' story.
I kept the face.
He had just undergone surgery to regain use of his tongue. At the time, there were only 2 documented cases in the U.S. Since then, Dr. James Melville with UT Health has heard about 7 more patients.
I think I know all the cases in the United States currently because they had reached out to me.
Do you think that?
All right, moving on. Amazon devices will soon automatically share your internet with neighbors. Headline, arstechnica.com. Hal Turner radio show claim poisoned people are being tracked in real time via 5G cellular, and all that data can be hacked in to track you. Let's see, it's 4 minutes long. Okay, it's all I've seen this before. It's a Russian thing, and it's all subtitles for us, most of us English speakers. That's what it talks about, is that he's found all of his friends that have taken the poison, and they're on different websites being tracked. Okay, so moving on. Employers can require workers to get the poison, government says. how many videos have we seen throughout the years, especially back 2014, 2015, 2016, about Hillsong and how wicked that church is. And anyway, this came out May 19th, 2021. Hillsong founder breaks silence on scandals surrounding Carl Lentz. Let's check some of this out.
Along with highly produced podcasts and a TV channel.
You're still a carrier of God's Spirit.
Charismatic, young, and fashionable leaders and celebrity attendees from Justin Bieber to Vanessa Hudgens to Chris Pratt. Not what you might expect from church on a Sunday, but it's why Hillsong has grown into one of the most influential mega churches in the world and one of the most controversial.
You know who's going to give you peace? It's going to be the expert. His name is Jesus.
Its popularity exploded in the U.S. with the high profile of the, quote, celebrity pastor, Carl Lentz, whose recent downfall has triggered a wave of scandals for the church Brian Houston created in Australia more than 30 years ago.
What has this season in the church been like for you?
I think it's been difficult, clearly, but there's a lot of disappointment in some of the things that have emerged.
Mind right. Hopefully, yes.
Lentz founded the East Coast branch of Hillsong in 2010, drawing stars in like Justin Bieber, who Lentz baptized in an NBA player's bathtub. But it all came crashing down last fall when Lentz was fired and admitted to an affair. Writing on social media, I am deeply sorry for breaking the trust of many people. A woman who says she was his mistress, speaking soon after.
He keeps saying, I manage celebrities and I travel with them. He didn't want to say what he does.
And more allegations of unusual behavior for a pastor followed.
People described Carl Lentz as somewhat aloof and removed from the actual ministry. They say he would come in a chauffeured car, wait in a green room, come do a sermon and depart. Does that bother you?
It does to a degree, for sure. Look, Carl is Carl. He's a unique character. There's a lot of things I miss about Carl. And but having said that, there were leadership issues that I believe included lying, included what I would call narcissistic behavior.
Should you have known earlier? Should you have done something earlier about the leadership of Hillsong?
And there's a lot of things I should have known earlier. And hopefully moving forward, we'll make sure we have far better systems in place and better accountability.
You see this pastor with the VIP row palling around celebrities. How come he didn't come down harder and say, not in my church? No way. How does this reflect the message I'm trying to preach?
There's another side to it. I mean, one person who's obviously been well reported is Justin Bieber. You think back several years now, when he was wrecking hotel rooms and basically on the edge of getting deported to Canada. There was certainly talk about that. And living an out-of-control life with abuse of drugs and so on. And look at Justin Bieber today. Anyone who's been fair could see a radical change. And so not everything about it is bad.
No, I guess the question is whether the celebrities got better treatment, more attention.
I do think that we did allow culture to the matter where there was one rule for a certain reason, but rule for other people.
I'll give you the cynical view. That as long as Carl was attracting press, bringing more members into Hillsong, that you were okay with that. You knew what was going on, but you were okay with that. What do you say to those who believe that?
I find it annoying that people thought that it was important to me and my wife Bobby to attract famous people to church.
Let me ask you to respond to one idea that has been out in the press a lot. One former staffer said Carl was a mini you, a mini Brian Houston. What do you say?
I mean, on one level, if people say Carl was like me, I'd see it as a compliment because incredibly gifted guy. But on another level, I don't think Carl really is anything like me.
What about the notion of you as the head of the church and the pastor of the church, but being a rarefied presence and waiting in the green room before the sermon, or not really being terribly approachable? Does any of that ring true to you?
Well, to a degree, yes, but I'll give perspective to it. mostly before you speak, you're preparing, and you've got to keep your heart right. You don't want distractions. I am ultimately responsible. I am ultimately accountable.
The firing of Lentz in New York opened the floodgates for Hillsong. In the months that followed, a senior staffer in New Jersey resigned over what a church spokesperson says was an inappropriate message on social media. Hillsong announced its pastors in Dallas resigned. The church there closed. A letter to New York leadership in 2018 surfaced alleging abusive behavior by church leaders. Other former congregants from Australia to the U.S. told Today some volunteers were overworked.
In my mind, if one...
I'll stop there, but just, I like these kind of stories when they come out, because it shows a lot of these kind of broken mainstream churches for what they really are. Here's the vice president, most popular president and vice president, I guess, in American history. The title is "This Cackling Buffoon is One Heart Attack Away from Being President. God Help the Free World." Let's check this out. This is your vice president.
To visit the border. Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance.
I haven't been to Europe. Oh man, who can believe that? I mean, it's a reality show, folks. Student asks teacher why straight kids can't have a gay unicorn cupcake. Teacher calls him some names. All right, let's check this out. These are the people in charge of your children. Good times. All right, wait. There it is.
Just because I support another thing doesn't mean I don't support straight people too. Just because I'm Mexican doesn't mean I don't also support black people, or Irish people, or ignorant people. Okay. Would you like a special unicorn cupcake for being straight jerk? Yes. All right, come here. Get a straight jerk cupcake. For being a pill.
I'm just trying to be annoying.
You are annoying. You were very successful. Congratulations. What a dip. All right.
What?
A dip. Like a dipstick, a butthead, a weasel, pain in my butt. This summer is RSVP month, and I'm not going to see you, so I want to give you something. You're welcome. Everybody's welcome to a unicorn cupcake. I just want to make sure there's enough for the people that want it.
Okay, moving on. Moving on. These are the people in charge of your students' minds. It's nice to see some kids standing up and saying, "Screw your indoctrination." Student asks teacher why straight kids can't have a... Oh, we saw that. Just watch that. Oopsie. CDC is emergency meeting to discuss the dangerous side effects of the... You know what? The poison. So this is a mainstream story. It's coming out on Good Morning America. In America, that's a big mainstream source. Right? See what this is.
Coronavirus emergency. The CDC is meeting about a possible link between vaccinated teens and heart inflammation. Well, Michael, good morning. Here in Mississippi and across the nation, there has been a race to vaccinate them. A lot of people are reluctant, and this morning, parents of teenagers have their eyes on the CDC. This morning, a CDC advisory panel is working to confirm whether a link exists between mRNA vaccine, Moderna, and potential heart problems in vaccinated teens, particularly in adolescent males. The panel warning of a higher than expected number of cases of myocarditis and pericarditis, conditions that can cause inflammation of the heart muscle and outer lining of the heart. But the CDC also notes.
All right, I'm going to stop there. But you guys know, who've been following the show for a while, we've seen some videos, lots of videos about blood clots in young people due to what they're putting in them over the last several months. So it's bad news, but it's also good news. At least it's hitting the mainstream and more people can start becoming aware of some potential dangers there. This is some lady from The View. which is putrid, in my opinion. But this is her I'll just let her explain. It says, too many people are still underestimating the Trump threat. Again, they're so pushing that. And we know why. Orange man bad. And seen the videos on here and the stories, news stories about them going after Trump supporters. And there's a story, I don't even think I put it up tonight, but did you know they have like hundreds of people locked away in basically a gulag type system in the American government that went on the 6th of January to the White House? They have like hundreds of them are locked up in solitary confinement. They have 1 hour they can get out a day. Look this up. Okay, I don't think I put that one up here tonight.
Another area
Meanwhile, huge cities in America are allowed to burn, right, and be destroyed. So we already know the hypocrisy there.
I think this is another area where Democrats really need to get serious about talking about what this threat is. I think you said it really well, Joe, a minute ago, where you talked about the need to stop being surprised by all of this and start taking it seriously. You know, it's really concerning to me that the Democrats haven't just gone ahead at this point and said we're doing this on our own in terms of getting a commission together to explain to the American people how we allowed the insurrection to take place.
That's the communist one-party rule.
It really needs to move forward swiftly. You know, the reality is here that we have a large percentage of the American population. I don't know how big it is, but we have tens of millions of Trump voters who continue to believe that their rights as citizens are under threat by simple virtue of having to share the democracy with others. I think that as long as they see Americanness as the same as one with whiteness, this is going to continue. We have to figure out how to get every American a place at the table in this democracy, but how to separate Americanness, America, from whiteness. Until we can confront that and talk about that, this is really going to continue. I was on Long Island this weekend visiting a really dear friend, and I was really disturbed. I saw, you know, dozens and dozens of pickup trucks with, explicatives against Joe Biden on the back of them, Trump flags, and some cases just dozens of American flags, which, you know, is also just disturbing because essentially the message was clear. It was, this is my country. This is not.
Guys, you already know we're witnessing the destruction of America. Still amazing how many people can't see it. Nationwide chicken wing shortage ends or sends Florida prices soaring. We've talked about this for quite a while on the show. It's a time of loss. It's all by design. And we're finding it in the strangest places. Lumber, chicken wings. Moving on. Let's see. Did we see this one earlier? Yeah, I think we did. We saw the camel acting out. Moving on.
Experience in some way.
This is 13 minutes. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'll play some, though. It's from the Heritage Foundation. He used to be trans. Here's what he wants everyone to know. This is from April 4th, 2019. But I thought this was interesting and important for some people. So let's check this out.
Well, thank you, Ryan, for putting this panel together. It's a topic that everybody brings a different perspective to. And if you haven't come to the conclusion yet, this is very complicated. And it has many different layers. And I'm not sure that we're going to be able to get to all of them, but we definitely need to open up a discussion about it. I lived 8 years as a female named Laura Jensen after undergoing gender reassignment surgery in April of 1983. I started as a 4-year-old kid in 1944. So I'm bringing to this conversation today 74 years of firsthand experience in some way, either living it or trying to deal with it or trying to recover from it. It's important, I think, to understand that everything that we've heard today is damaging to children. And I was damaged by this, and I have some very strong points of view. So I hope that don't take exception to them. They come out of pain. They come out of real life experience. I'm not trying to be hurtful to anybody. But I think that I have a website called sexchangeregret.com, and we get letters from either the parents or the transgenders themselves asking for help after they've lived the life like I did for 5, 6, 15, 18, 20, all the way up to 30 years. And they're saying, Walt, can you help me detransition? This was the biggest mistake of my life. I've met with people personally. We've had the honor and pleasure of working with people who are now detransitioning. Just recently, a school teacher, a pharmacist, and a good friend, Jamie Shue. I think it's important for us to realize that there is actually nothing good about affirming a young boy, 4 years old, like my grandma did me. The moment you affirm a child like my grandma did, putting me in a purple chiffon dress and telling me how cute I was, how wonderful I looked, is that at the very same moment that you're affirming that young person, you're telling them there's something wrong with them. You're not right. That is child abuse. We need to begin calling it what it is. It's not affirming a child. It's causing them to be depressed and anxious about who they are. And then we go on to inject hormone blockers into them and begin altering their body. And we begin to understand today from these discussions how destructive this is to the psyche. It's no wonder they end up with separation anxiety and bipolar disorder, dissociative disorders, schizophrenia, and many other disorders that they want you to ignore. They want to block any child from having access to psychotherapy. The only reason that I'm able to speak to you today is because after 46 years of dealing with this issue, I was able to detransition in 1990 after I had extensive psychotherapy, the very same psychotherapy that they're trying to prevent people from having. Why? Because they don't want them to detransition. Because somebody like me puts a real bad mark on the idea that it's all good, because it isn't. I've recently written a book, Trans Life Survivors, that has the stories in it. It's painful to get these emails from people whose lives have been totally torn apart. Men like myself, who was married, had 2 children, had a career, was an executive for American Honda Motor Company. One of those therapists who was an advocate for gender change surgery told me that what happened to you as a child wearing that purple dress, the only way to solve that is to have cross-gender hormones and undergo reassignment surgery. That's the solution. Well, I trusted his expertise because Dr. Walker had actually written the original international standards of care for treatment of gender identity disorder or gender dysphoria. I'm here because he was wrong. I'm here because those standards of care have morphed into what they're using today. They haven't changed much. Yeah, they've gone through revision after revision, but the basic idea is that when somebody comes in, they can self-diagnose their gender dysphoria. We are manufacturing transgender kids. We are manufacturing their depression, their anxiety, and it's turned into a huge industry that people are profiting from after kids' lives are completely torn apart.
That's great stuff, man. It goes on. That's 5 minutes in. There's more than half left. Check it out. He used to be trans. Here's what he wants everyone to know. The Heritage Foundation.
What did they try to do to you? They tried to force
12-year-old says doctors tried to force poison him. You may see me kind of mess with the volume occasionally here and there, just trying to avoid the trigger words. This is low audio, by the way.
What kind of vaccine were they trying to give you? Coronavirus. Wow. Where was this? At a regular hospital? Was it at the school? No, it was at a what's it called? It's the it was a doctor's office. Like a doctor's office? Okay, around the doctor's office. Okay. So they didn't ask your mom. You were with your mom or your uncle? Yeah, I was with my mother. They tried to force it, and then my mother came and told them. No? Okay. And what did the school tell you about the vaccine? They said if I don't take it, I can't come back to school. How does that make you feel? Angry, because coronavirus is fake. Okay. Coronavirus is fake. What made you think that? I mean, you're already 12 years old, and you see the adults panicking and acting crazy. What made you even think that? I mean, how can it come out of the blue? Okay. I haven't seen in China, like you told me, people are dropping on the floor, dying. Nobody's dying here, dropping on the floor. Right. Okay. Okay. And how can you?
I love this kid.
And when 2014, when there was Ebola, nobody was wearing masks. Oh my goodness! Are you sure you're 12 years old? Yeah. How did you even? Oh my God! I was just like, how did you even think of this? I think you're old, so you know that, right? Like you're 12, but then inside you're like 70. Right. Oh my God, I love this. So you remember Ebola? Yeah. Oh my, I was 5 or 6 when that happened. How the hell do you even remember this? I have a good memory. I see. Yeah, I see. And what about your friends? Have you lost any friends because of this, or? No. Okay, they still see you around, your friends? Yeah. You only hang out with the smart kids. Yeah. I hope so. You don't want to be contaminated by that. I cut off those kids who hate their kids. Okay. All right. Only live once. Right. Right. And life is too short to deal with this. Oh my goodness. I swear to God, you sure? It's not like... You have done a great job raising your son. He's the father. Oh, your nephew. Oh, you're the uncle. Well, either way, you're a good influence. You're very good influence. Okay. Nice uncle. Cool uncle. All righty. They're trying to kill you with this mask. They're trying to kill you with this mask. Are they trying to kill you? How do they kill you?
All right, I'll stop there. But isn't that great, though? To me, I love seeing the young people like that, just critically thinking. Like, wait a second, something about this doesn't make sense. Arcturian spaceship flying over the sky. This is August 20th, 2020 from Secret Space Tube. Check this out. This one is pretty wild. Got the music going. Let's watch. Yeah, that's crazy. Whoa. Totally, like, it's like something out of the movies. Reminds me of Flash Gordon. I don't know why. Did you guys ever see the old Flash Gordon movie? It's a classic. All right. Cool. Moving on. Sexiest woman alive. Teyana Taylor is Maxim's 2021 Hot 100 cover star, but as you can see, pretty girl, but it's all about, you know, the narrative in place right now. Kind of the Antfarta SJW type wokeism or new nihilism. Really. That's what it is. BL plus M style. Got it. That's what I was looking for here. Oh, it was just a thread on Magneto on Twitter. You see it up here. And it's just, some of it was good. Some of it is poking fun at the idea that some people are becoming magnetized, but there was some good stuff here. But it's been a few days since I saved this, and it's like there's more stuff on there. So it's, you know what I mean? Stuff I wanted to show you is probably a lot further down. Okay, moving on. Foo Fighters to allow the Poison fans only at Madison Square Garden concert. Research article in Medical Journal describes whiteness as a, quote, malignant parasitic like condition, unquote. More of that division politics taking place. Beau Biden budget proposal replaces mother with, quote, birthing person. I've shown you some stories on some of these past shows about the birthing person. Changing the language even, right? Meaning of things. This is older, but I thought it was pretty funny. Representative Louis Gohmert asks whether the Forest Service or the BL+M, which is a Bureau of Land Management in this case, can alter the orbit of the moon or the Earth in order to fight climate change. These goofballs are always pushing this climate change narrative nonsense.
We want very much to work on the issue of climate change. I was informed by the past director of NASA that they have found that the moon's orbit is changing slightly, and so is the Earth's orbit around the sun. We know there's been significant solar flare activity. And so is there anything that the National Forest Service or BLM can do to change the course of the moon's orbit or the Earth's orbit around the sun? Obviously, that would have profound effects on our climate.
Okay, got it. Beau Biden to the troops stationed at Royal Air Force Mildenhall. I keep forgetting I'm president, he says.
Sitting at 14 years old, I was 14. What place that is? I keep forgetting my person.
You can barely hear it, I know, but there's the most popular president in American history for you. China returns to its strict COVID restrictions to fight, like that movie Songbird, right? New outbreaks. Here come the new strains, guys. Gonna have to get some more boosters, and eventually a chip, a mark, right? With all your medical information on it. Maybe a digital tattoo, but somehow to connect you to the internet. I'm a teacher, but I serve God first. Virginia teacher refuses to comply with proposed pronoun policy.
The lack of pushback or how easy it was to make physical changes last night, speaking out of love for those who suffer with gender dysphoria. 60 Minutes this past Sunday interviewed over 30 young people who transitioned, but they felt led astray because lack of pushback or how easy it was to make physical changes to their bodies in just 3 months. They are now detransitioning. It's not my intention to hurt anyone, but there are certain truths that we must face when ready. We condemn school policies like 80-40 and 80-35 because it will damage children, defile the holy image of God. I love all of my students, but I will never lie to them regardless of the consequences. I'm a teacher, but I serve God first, and I will not affirm that a biological boy can be a girl and vice versa because it's against my religion, it's lying to a child, it's abuse to a child, and it's sinning against our God.
Boom. Federal health data shows biggest increases in the death rates for heart disease and diabetes in over 20 years. Experts believe a major reason may be that many people made the lethal mistake of staying away from the hospital for fear of catching you know what. Okay, sure. Couldn't be all the garbage they're pumping in our food, could it? UFO, Medellin OVNI UFO channel. This one gets pretty crazy. Let's check this out.
Miremos a ver si cruza hacia allá. Sí, miremos a ver. Porque mire que allá está la otra. ¡Ay, mire la otra! ¡Ay, mírela! ¡Qué impresión! ¡Ay, maricas!
Cálmese, hija.
Vale, se va a juntar con la otra. Ay, mire las naves. Mírela. Mire qué impresión. Ay, no, nada más es un... Vale, nos va a tratar con ese telescopio ahora sí. Se nos deja caro, has visto unos dedos. Ay, mira. Mírala, se va a juntar con la otra. Ellos me avisaron. Ay, marica, pero se ve. No es un avión. Se le ve el tamaño, se le ve el... Mira el tamaño. Ay, se apagó, se apagó. Se fue detrás de la montaña.
Okay, didn't get too crazy. It's not the one I was thinking of, but let's move on. I think I have a few more UFO videos here. This one from Bashira YouTube channel. Shapeshifter. Humanoid. All right, move on. It's a good one, though. I think. So Mavi 777. There's one to show you on here. There it is. Ghost lights are back. Here we go. May 23rd, Philadelphia.
Do y'all see that? That man was right. He said they're coming this year. They said the World Cup ended 2012 this year in December. Oh my! Look, and it's right there. Look at it's moving. Yo, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that? Or is it a big one with lights? No, that's a big. That's a big one. Yeah. No, take a picture. Oh my God. Look, it cut off. That's not no skyline. Take it. Take a picture. Yo.
Right, guys. Now, some of you who followed this show for a while, you know we've seen this exact anomaly all over the place.
It's moving. It's moving. You see it? Look, you see it down there? It's moving. Yo, oh my God.
All right, that's that. UFO 2012, it says, but it uploaded June 9th, 2021. So let's check this out. Some people think these are angelic, like, positive angelic. Oftentimes I see these as demonic interdimensionals, shapeshifters. That's me. Okay, moving on. This is on BitChute banned video. It is interesting. CVS employees caught wearing barcode stickers on their right hands to sell pharma drugs. It's only a few minutes long. All right, we got it. Moving on.
I'm going to give a medical.
Virginia teacher exposes evil school board and delivers passionate plea to save the children.
I'm sorry, you have a medical exception for.
I do. Okay. You've been cleared by staff. Can someone? Yes, I have. Can I have my full minute, please? You may. I'm waiting for staff to give me a thumbs up that the medical exemption was granted. You know, it's actually embarrassing that you have to ask me that question in front of hundreds of people here. That's discrimination against HIPAA. It is. I can't ask you if you're gay. I can't ask you if you have herpes. You can't ask me about my medical exemption. I can't ask you if you're pregnant. You can't ask me that question.
Would you like your minute now?
I would love my minute, yes. Thank you. I'm a Fairfax County public school teacher. I'm going to give a message of encouragement to parents and teachers and students who are too afraid to come and speak forward. Parents, the longer that you wait and you don't hold your child's schools accountable gives these guys more time to dictate what's best for your child's physical, mental, and emotional health. Don't be afraid to speak out for your kids because they are voiceless and they rely on you. You should be afraid of them rooting for socialism by the time they get to middle school. Teachers, it may seem that our careers have come to a dead end, but I'm here to remind you, we don't work for the school board. We work to mold the next generation of well-rounded American patriots. So don't give up because it is up to us. Students, you are on the front lines of these indoctrination camps. Challenge the staff when you're presented with a ludicrous statement and do not allow anybody to tell you that you cannot accomplish anything because of your skin color or to hate yourself because of your skin color. Students, it is up to you to be the next generation of victims or victors. And finally, to the board, this isn't over and your policies are just as...
Nick Gofford, followed by Ryan.
They cut her off. They give her a minute. Good stuff. Moving on. It says now magnetic kids. This is on BitChute. You already see it. It's not playing. Excuse me.
Why, you think I'm making that up?
Check this out. Now it's climate lockdowns. Remember, it's always climate change. How they can make all these shifts and moves through a global perspective on connecting everything all through climate change. It's going to get you. Here it comes.
Are you ready for climate lockdowns? Why, you think I'm making that up? Avoiding a climate lockdown by the WBCSD, that rolls off the tongue. That stands for the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. 3M, Apple, Bloomberg, BMW, Chevron, BP, Dow, DuPont, Google, IBM, IKEA, Kellogg's, Nestle, Procter & Gamble, it just keeps going. This was published way back in October 2020, so it's not even a new thing. They say in the near future, the world may need to resort to lockdowns again, this time to tackle a climate emergency. I mean, how could the climate create an emergency that we need a lockdown to solve? Who cares? They say under a climate lockdown, governments would limit private vehicle use, ban the consumption of red meat, and impose extreme energy-saving measures. Fossil fuel companies would have to stop drilling. To avoid such a scenario, we have to overhaul economics and do capitalism differently.
There it is. There it is. 4,000 Lake Jackson in Florida drains into enormous sinkhole. So there's another one of these huge sinkholes we found open up. It's got a little music playing, but I don't really hear much. All right, just trying to kind of connect these to the other ones. Been a bunch of sinkholes popping open this last week, 3 or 4. Might be another one in here somewhere. I have heart problems from the poison, and I am effed, she says. It's on BitChute. No needle, no liquid in the syringe. She never even pushes the plunger down.
אני כיושב ראש אשכול הגליל המזרחי מקבל היום חיסון ואני ממליץ לכל תושבי הכללי. חברים יקרים, צהריים טובים. אני כיושב ראש אשכול הגליל המזרחי מקבל היום חיסון, ואני ממליץ לכל תושבי הגליל והגולן לקבל את החיסון, להגיע, לא לחכות, למען בריאות טובה, וכמובן...
Probably a political figure or a celebrity. We saw them do the same thing to Anthony Hopkins. Remember that clip we showed on here? That might be one of the shows that got taken down. I don't know. Hopefully this one stays up. We'll see. Emergency rooms filling up with people having problems from the poison. An ER visitor explains. It's one you might want to check out. 111 thumbs up. I like that number. It's on BitChute. ER nurse claims of being bullied to take the poison. Many admitted due to adverse reaction. Let's see. So I may have to mute something here.
A little bit because we gave a lot. I know a lot. I work in the ER, so it was crazy during the whole COVID pandemic, and it's like we were short-staffed, over capacity with patients. Like it was just a lot, and then it's like for them to kind of do this to us, kind of like a slap in the face. That's how I felt.
What do you hope happens after tonight? What do you hope they hear after?
I just want them to like not stomp on our rights as like individual persons. Like we have no rights right now. I feel like they kind of bullied us into this little corner. Like you have to do it or else you don't have a job. And it's like this is my only source of income. So for me to do this, it was a hard decision because I was going back and forth and contemplating between doing it and then not, and then doing it and not. But I was like, once it's done, it's done. You can't take it back, and my health isn't worth it.
What was your concern with getting the vaccine?
So I work in the ER, so they are literally bringing them over to us for people that are having reactions. And so I just see it all day. People are coming in with shortness of breath, chest pains, and for them to tell us that it was not, or that it was safe and that it was approved and wasn't approved, it was just, I feel like you're bullied.
Okay. Hopefully you heard some of that. I know the audio on some of these isn't the best. My name is Danny, and I'm a peppy girl looking for head pats. Oh, boy. Jim Crenshaw, BitChute. Let's see if it plays. More people just going cuckoo, really.
What I love about being a dog is that I get to just play around and be praised, be taken care of.
What the fuck? What is this?
And this puppy-loving pair convince the world that what might seem weird to others is perfect for them.
Oh!
Hey, come on in. Come in. How's your walk? You want a treat?
What the fuck am I watching? What am I watching?
My name's Danny, and I'm a puppy girl just looking for head pats.
My name is Josh, and I'm Danny's owner. Right, sit. Good girl. Stay. Okay, get it. Good girl. It makes her happy, and just seeing her get all playful and we can be silly even.
Oh, yeah. Oh, does it make you feel all silly inside? Shut the fuck up.
We run around in ears and a tail or play with dog toys, and it's just really fun.
Want something sweet?
No! No!
Okay, so there's that. There you go. CDC plans emergency meeting on rare, saw that earlier, heart inflammation following the poisons. Florida woman says she spotted a baby dinosaur running through her yard. Let's see. Hard to say what that is, huh? Okay, moving on. Resident says HOA in the Villages is suing her for displaying a cross on her lawn.
New tonight, a small cross is causing a big commotion in the Villages. Fox 35's Valerie Boyd looks into the battle between homeowners and the HOA.
Well, the commotion is over this little cross. Take a look. It's not very tall. It comes up just past my ankle. And if
you drive around this neighborhood, well, you could see crosses all over the place. Here at the villages, there are flags and statues, but lately it's the crosses in neighbors' yards that are getting extra attention.
I just display the cross because it's part of my faith. This is something that we believe in.
It means my Christian faith. But Bonnie Anderson says she and her husband are being forced to remove their cross after someone made an anonymous complaint.
Villagers came to tell us we had to remove it, but we didn't do it.
Last year, the Village Community Development District number 8 sued the Andersons in court, saying they were in violation because they had 3 lawn ornaments on their yard. According to the lawsuit, it's something that's prohibited.
We had some, and we did remove those.
But she says she kept the cross up because it's not just a lawn ornament.
Someone just driving by that doesn't like the cross complains anonymously to the villagers. So they come out and tell you have to remove it. I feel it's unfair, and I think she's being targeted.
Neighbor Virginia Jacobs also displays her cross.
And they also complained about my cross a long time ago, and I took it away for like 30 days, and I put it back out. So we owe like $15,000 or so.
Bonnie says the fines are racking up. She
15,000.
rules in her favor when they get their day in court.
It's so tiny, and everyone has one. It's just
15 grand for having a cross in her yard. Yoga instructor and body activist says white supremacy has polluted yoga. There she is. More of this nonsense, honk honk. Maryland hospitals to start requiring employees to get the against the Crown V. Here's your vice president once again, not being very ladylike, professional. It's what we're used to.
¿Cómo le responde usted a él? I said I'm going to go to the border. And when are you going to the border, Vice President? The administration has asked. I'm not finished. I've said I'm going to the border. And also, if we are going to deal with the problems at the border, we have to deal with the problems that cause people to go to the border, to flee to the border. And that is the root causes. So my first trip as Vice President of the United States was to go, in terms of a foreign trip, to Guatemala, to be on the ground there, to address and to be informed of the root causes. Why are the people of Guatemala leaving?
Do you have a date? ¿Tiene una fecha para su viaje a la frontera para ver la situación con sus propios ojos?
I will keep you posted. I have to.
¿Cómo le responde usted a él?
I said I'm going to go to the border. And when are you going to the border, Vice President? The administration has asked. I'm not finished.
I'm not finished. Oh. So gross. No jab, no phone. Unveed to have SIM cards blocked. Pakistan's Punjab government says. 2 passengers test positive for the Crown V on Celebrity Millennium fully V'd cruise. And that goes back to the idea of a form of shedding, and also what's the whole point of taking this in the first place. 2 teens talked about murdering somebody in video. Now they're accused of stabbing one of their parents to death.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Day 3 after murdering somebody.
Whoa! Don't put it on the camera.
It was worth it.
And we had sex a lot today.
It was worth it. I got plenty of sex on it. I was payment for doing it.
And no bleeding this time. We got through that. We overcame. So yeah.
A wicked generation, huh? Trying to stop that. Come on, man. I just want to look at her eyes. Okay. CBS calls for violence against the Unveed, urges jabbed people to punch them in the face. Some more of that stuff. Real cool. It's all about division. We know that. Can't be led into these stupid fights and arguments. Oh, and that's actually the last story. Let me throw a little background up here. We'll jump over to the chat for a second and say hello. Hey guys, thanks so much for being here, man. I hope you guys are doing well tonight. Where are we at? Did about 3 hours. These usually go about 3 hours. It's not bad. I told you, man, there's a lot of stories I couldn't put in that have to do with, you know what, the taboo subject, but I'll put that in something else off YouTube soon. As I mentioned earlier, I'm off of, I can post back on my main channel on YouTube, but I'm going to stay away from that for a little while. Just kind of let it ride out. Hopefully it'll stay. And I'll be posting on all the other sites. So, you know, definitely make sure you check the links below underneath the player. Check my other sites I'm at. I'm on like 6 or 7. Got my website's probably the best place to go. I've got links down there for food. If you're looking to get some kind of food preparations, just in case. We know that you know, Polygon's potentially on the way. We keep having these hacker attacks. So it's a good idea to be prepared. If not, going through the links below, I've got a link underneath for food supplies. Do it on your own. Just go pick up some stuff. Have some supplies, maybe for a couple months. Just some stuff to kind of get you and yours through, just in case. It's not being paranoid. It's not being scared. It's being prepared, just in case, right? I mean, crazy things happen. We know this. We're in some really crazy times. Also got a Discord link below, free 24/7 chat room. Please check that out. If you guys meet people here, you want to move it somewhere else, keep talking, good place to go. And as I said, check the other links below. Thank you, by the way, to the moderators tonight. Always a big shout out to my Patreon and PayPal supporters, guys. Thank you so much. I've got a new video. It's another big one. It'll be up in the next few days, and I look forward to getting it out there because there's some real, like, huge stories I didn't show you guys tonight because I want to put them in the video. So there's a lot of stuff that happened over the last couple of weeks, and you'll see what I mean when I put this together and I show it to you. And yeah, so thank you for your patience. It's coming out here quickly, okay? And on that note, I always like to end these with a short prayer. So I'll just say, Heavenly Father, thanks once again for all these wonderful people and for this platform, or a platform to talk to people and get us all together, looking at all these things, the signs of the times. Be with us all, please, Lord. Guide us and protect us, of course. A lot of people are hurting out there. A lot of crazy things are happening. Just to pray you're with all of us and help us all to keep making it through, prospering, doing okay in these times, and not living in fear. And thank you, Lord. And on that note, I love you. And in Jesus' name I pray, amen. All right, guys. Hey, thank you once again for being here, man. I really appreciate you guys. You all have a good one. Once again, check all my links below. I've got a P.O. box down there as well if you ever wanted to send a note or something. And that's it. I'll see you here soon. Check my other links, like I said, over the next few days. I've got a video coming out. Take care, and I'll